$100 a month, you might save even more. Medishare is a Christian community that shares each other's healthcare costs, and because of the current economic situation, they're making it easier than ever. Apply by April 30th, and you can save an additional $170 on your first month. I'll give you the number here in a second, and if you call, you can get a price within 2 minutes. Just tell them the promo code SHARE to receive your additional savings. Maybe now is the time to make the switch like more than 400,000 people already have, and start saving. Here it is. Call 866-88-BIBLE. That's 866-88-BIBLE. 866-88-BIBLE.
This is party day for pot lovers.
Today is 420. For a lot of people, it's just a day like any other, but for many, it's a celebration of all things weed.
Is that a joint, man? It's like a quarter pounder, man.
420 got its start in the 70s when a group of high school kids from California would smoke at 420 every day. Now, as the cannabis culture becomes more mainstream, 420 has been widely adopted and celebrated as a holiday. Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
An iconic voice from New York's hipster 50s and 60s is back. Copies of The Village Voice have popped up in city street boxes 4 years after the indie paper shut down. The publisher of LA Weekly bought it in December and says he plans to put out 4 issues a year. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Oh, let me see.
And Jeff Marenko from Chappie's Deli. And this is Major Delay eating at Chappie's Deli.
Major Delay, what a treat. How is traffic everywhere?
Major D, thanks for stopping by, but I wonder if it's a good idea having, you a Chappie's Deli commercial.
Jeff, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I eat at Chappie's Deli all the time.
But it might be confusing if we say your name, Major Delay, at Chappie's Deli.
But I was there yesterday. There was no delay at all. Quick and friendly. I go all the time.
See, it's already kind of confusing.
Jeff, you might hurt his feelings.
I'm just saying, when you say Major Delay at Chappie's Deli, everyone won't know we are talking about the man named Major Delay.
How about I do takeout? Then you can say, no Major Delay at Chappie's Deli.
Yeah, that's not confusing. Thanks, Major Delay.
I give up. Please come by to any of the 5 locations of Chappie's Deli: Perry Hill Road, Pepper Tree, Prattville, Baptist South, and Auburn, where there is no Major Delay.
Yes, there is. I'm right here at Chappie's Deli.
Montgomery's most trusted shop for auto, paint, body, and mechanical repair. It's got to be McGriff. McGriff Auto Service also does oil changes and other routine maintenance, including warranty inspections. And they're still offering pickup within a 10-mile radius on Bell Street in Montgomery. McGriff.
If you're worried about your hard-earned dollars becoming worthless or your 401k or IRA losing value, now is the time to move into gold. No, not gold or silver stocks. For real gold and silver, you can actually hold in your hands. How do you get real gold and silver? By calling Oxford Gold today at 833-600-GOLD. The Oxford Gold Group will teach you everything you need to know about owning real gold and silver. It's a lot easier than you think. Call the Oxford Gold Group right now at 833-600-GOLD to get your free gold and silver investment guide. Put your savings and retirement accounts into something real, like gold and silver. Get your free Oxford Gold Group investment guide today and learn how easy it is to have real gold and silver delivered to your home, or how you can have real gold and silver in your retirement account. Don't sit back and watch your savings suffer. Now is the time to make your money work as hard for you as you did for your money. So do this. Call the Oxford Gold Group right now, today, 833-600-GOLD. That's 833-600-GOLD.
Just getting started with Rich Eisen has stories of humble beginnings and humble moments from inspiring people.
Dr. Fauci, is there a through line of the presidents that you've served under?
I have served 7 presidents. Each has different challenges. George W. Bush started the President's Emergency Plan, which resulted in saving 14 to 15 million lives. Most people don't appreciate that accomplishment on his part.
Just getting started with Rich Eisen. Listen on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your shows.
Many of the locally owned and operated restaurants you love are staying open to serve you during this difficult time. To find a list of these restaurants, visit newsradio1440.com. Eat local and help our local businesses stay open. Your WSFA First Alert Weather Forecast on News Radio 1440.
Cloud cover through the morning with perhaps a light passing shower south of US 80, and then by the afternoon it turns mainly sunny. Temperatures a bit warmer than where we were on Monday, not by much, upper 70s with that afternoon sunshine. Tonight we're down into the upper 40s and low 50s, mainly clear. And for the day on Wednesday, behind a morning cold front, temperatures only in the mid and upper 60s despite plenty of afternoon sunshine.
That's your First Alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Right now we're looking good. Your Tuesday kicks off with no major problems or accidents. Interstate systems moving smoothly into and through the Tri-County area from Clanton, Albany, Greenville. No problems on Highway 80 or 14 coming in from the Selma area. And 231 south out of Wetumpka, north out of Troy, still carrying light traffic. You keep listening, we'll keep you posted. Chico's Auto Pros has everything for your car, including discounted towing, convenient loaner cars, and an extra $100 value on every repair. Chico's Auto Pros, Atlanta Highway 239-9510. Buckle up. For Montgomery Skywatch traffic, this is Major Delay.
For all your auto maintenance and repair needs, Chico's knows. Chico's Auto Pros now offers a full-service automotive center. Call Chico's today at 239-9510. Chico's knows.
Good morning, I'm Jed Davis. Here's what's happening on this Tuesday morning. The eyes of the nation are on Minneapolis as jury deliberations begin in the trial of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin, charged in the death of George Floyd. In the last 3 weeks, we heard from 45 witnesses. On Monday, more than 4 hours of closing arguments. Floyd's death sparked global protests calling for racial justice, and now the city's preparing for another round. Here's the latest COVID news this morning. Some people are delaying their shots after reports that at least 6 people developed rare blood clots after receiving the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Over 6 million J&J shots were given out. Now CDC advisors will meet on Friday to discuss their most recent findings. Here's the latest on gas prices. They are holding steady in the last few days. AAA reports the national price for regular unleaded is $2.87 a gallon. That's up a penny in the last week. The Alabama average is $2.63 a gallon, the same as last week, but down 5 cents compared to last month. That's your news on this Tuesday morning.
When you call for disposal service, don't be put on endless hold by people who don't even know the way. You deserve better for your time and money.
Don't worry, be happy.
Local service thousands count on every day from Alabama Dumpster Service. Locally owned and operated, Alabama Dumpster answers your call with a local customer representative. Call us today at 334-288-1500 or learn more at alabamadumpster.com.
This is State Health Officer Dr. Scott Harris, encouraging you to take the Purple Pledge and support the 47 million people worldwide who are living with Alzheimer's disease and other dementias.
The number of Americans living with Alzheimer's is growing at an alarming rate. 10% of people over the age of 65 have the disease, and 2/3 of them are women. Someone in the United States develops Alzheimer's every minute. As the number of older Americans continues to grow, so will the number of new and existing cases of Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is the 6th leading cause of death in the United States. New research is making it possible to detect Alzheimer's disease and providing an accurate diagnosis earlier than ever before. Learning the signs of Alzheimer's, and if you notice them in a family member, seek medical treatment.
This is State Health Officer Dr. Scott Harris. For more information, visit our website, www.drharris.gov.
Septic tanks are used where municipal sewers are not available, and maintenance is important. Failing septic tank systems can endanger your family, pollute the environment, and can be expensive to repair. You can prevent your system from failing by having your tank pumped every 3 to 5 years. Keep a separate container for grease and dispose of it properly. Use detergents low in phosphate and spread laundry over several days to not overload the system with too much water. This message brought to you by the Alabama Department of Public Health and this station.
Russell Wilson here. We play 60, United Way in the NFL, helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Don't worry, be happy.
UnitedWay.org/play60. Are you guys going to do that every time? Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
They are the 2 sexiest fat men alive.
Really fun.
And you can hear Rick and Bubba on News Radio 1440 beginning at 9 a.m. Depend on it.
And good morning, Montgomery, Alabama. It is time to rise and shine once again, if you can, this morning. Well, good morning. This is News Radio 1440, WIOWI AM, and on newsradio1440.com. TuneIn Radio. We got our own app, News Radio 1440, so no reason why you can't. Or you can catch us on Facebook. Either or, we're here. And we are feeling blessed to be here because it certainly did not have to be. I'm Kevin Elkins, and it's time for our Daily Bread, a moment of reflection, a moment where you can listen to the word from on high and hopefully change your perspective on life. Today's Daily Bread, of course, is brought to you by none other than Alabama Home Mortgage, because there's a difference. Believe me, I'm telling you, it is. Ask them. Ask Kim Williams. Ask Madeline over there. It's a difference in mortgage companies. There is. I'm just telling you. I don't let anybody do my mortgage but Alabama Home Mortgage. Matter of fact, I'm going to see if I can get that down just a little bit more. Anyway, we'll be back right after this message with our Daily Bread. Jesus promised to you, he will give you another advocate to help you and be with you forever. That is John 14:16. We'll be back.
State deeply rooted in military tradition, and we at Alabama Home Mortgage appreciate the sacrifices that our men and women in uniform make each and every day. I'm Kim Williams, and I'm here to tell you there is a difference in mortgage companies. Don't be fooled by mortgage companies with veteran in their name. Call the mortgage company with veterans in their blood. The entire Alabama Home Mortgage staff are children of military veterans. We understand what it means to serve. If you're looking for a VA loan, call Alabama Home Mortgage 567-4223. With a VA loan, there's no money out of pocket, 100% financing. There's simply nothing better than a VA mortgage loan. Ella, tell them what to do.
Call my mom, Kim Williams, at 567-4223. That's 567-4223.
That's right. Or visit us online at alahomemortgage.com. That's alahomemortgage.com to get your VA home loan today. NMLS 158636A, Equal Housing Lender.
And again, that's 567-4223.
Change the focus from the problem to the problem solver. This is Decisions with Kevin Elkins.
And good morning, Montgomery. It's time to rise and shine. It's time for our Daily Bread. It is April the 20th, 2021 AD. Today's scripture insight comes from John 14:15 through 21 and 25 through 27. The title is Jesus' Promise to You. It will give you another advocate to help you and be with you forever. That is John 14:16. It is a special day today because this day, like the days of old, has never been. And this day, even though we'll be held accountable for what we do this day, April the 20th, has never been. And I guarantee it, this day won't ever come again. It is a once-in-a-lifetime deal. And once it's gone, you don't get a do-over. You don't get it back. You don't get to summon it from the past. You don't get to go back and do what you should have done this day. And you certainly don't get to go back and undo the things that you did. So whatever it is you do this day, make sure that if tomorrow should be. You'll be proud of what you have done on this day, April the 20th, 2021. There's no doubt, I tell you every morning, there's no doubt in my mind, if you've lived a while, you have seen, you've heard of many yesterdays. And if we are blessed and given the grace of God and a lot of mercy thrown in, we may, I'm not sure, but we may see some tomorrows. But if tomorrow should never be, then it is this day. That is the first day of the rest of your life. What are you going to do with it? Well, whatever it is that you decide to do, make sure you reach back and give somebody else a hand along the way. Benjamin Elijah Mays said, and I say it every day because it's true, whatever you do in life, whatever it is, you should do it so well that no man living, no man dead, and no man yet to be born can do it any better. And I say that is the standard by which you live life. You shall always be successful. Oh, you may fail at a thing or two. And sometimes failure can be a great place to start again. But just because you fail at something here and there doesn't make you a failure. You are only a failure if you quit, which they give out if you must, rest if you can, but you never, ever, ever quit. You never give up. Yes, and there are mountains in the way. Some mountains so big you can't get over it. Some seem so deep you can't go under it. And some seem so wide that you can't go around it. Well, when you can't go over it, can't go under it, can't go around it, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes you got to go through it. But you never quit, because quitters don't win. And winners, they may fail at a thing or two, but they never quit. My mother used to say, nothing beats a failure but a try. One foot in front of the other. Keep moving. There are two things that bring about a change in your life. It's either you have been through a lot or you have learned a lot. Good morning to you. Jesus has promised to you this day. And no matter what happens on this day, it is a great day to be alive. Good morning to you, Montgomery. It's time to rise and shine.
Welcome to today's encouragement from Our Daily Bread.
Time to wake
Today's
up.
reading, titled Jesus' Promise to You, was written by Ann Cetus. Jason wailed as his parents handed him over to Amy. It was the 2-year-old's first time in the nursery while Mom and Dad attended the service, and he was not happy. Amy assured them he'd be fine. She tried to soothe him with toys and books, by rocking in a chair, walking around, standing still, and talking about what fun he could have. But everything was met with bigger tears and louder cries. Then she whispered 5 simple words in his ear. I will stay with you. Peace and comfort quickly came. In John chapter 14, Jesus offered his friends similar words of comfort during the week of his crucifixion. The Father will give you another advocate to help you and be with you forever, the Spirit of truth. After his resurrection, he gave them this promise in Matthew chapter 28. Surely I am with you always to the very end of the age. Jesus was soon to ascend to heaven, but he would send the Spirit to stay and live within his people. We experience the Spirit's comfort and peace when our tears flow. We receive his guidance when we're wondering what to do. He opens our eyes to understand more of God, and he helps us in our weakness and prays for us. He stays with us forever. Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from John chapter 14, verses 15 through 21 and 25 through 27. If you love me, keep my commands, and I will ask the Father, and he will give you another advocate to help you and be with you forever, the Spirit of truth. The world cannot accept him because it neither sees him nor knows him. But you know him, for he lives with you and will be in you. I will not leave you as orphans. I will come to you. Before long, the world will not see me anymore, but you will see me. Because I live, you also will live. On that day, you will realize that I am in my Father, and you are in me, and I am in you. Whoever has my commands and keeps them is the one who loves me. The one who loves me will be loved by my Father, and I too will love them and show myself to them. And now verses 25 through 27. All this I have spoken while still with you, but the Advocate, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, will teach you all things and will remind you of everything I have said to you. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. Let's pray. Dear God, we thank you for your promise that if we love you, you will never leave us, and that your presence is always with us through your Spirit. Thank you for always remaining by our side. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
Well, it's time to rise and shine, people. I know. It's hard to get up some mornings, but just be thankful you can still get up. So let's get the rolling. Take a shower. Do something. Give the 3 Sierras. You know what I mean? You got to take care of that kind of thing first thing in the morning. Anyway, good morning to you. I'm Kevin Elkins, and this is homage to all of our armed forces: Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and Montgomery Police Department, Montgomery Sheriff Department, Montgomery Sanitation Department. Good morning, boys. I'm still trying to work on that raise for you. Every time I call the mayor, it goes straight to voicemail. I don't know what's up with that. He must have forgot my number or something like that. That's all I can tell you. The United States Navy. Hey, maybe it goes to voicemail because I'm on call block. Whoa, what's up with that? Because I could be calling the wrong number. I'm going to check that again. The United States Coast Guard. The United States Air Force. Good morning, Maxwell and Gunner. It's time to rise and shine. Don't forget the Alabama National Guard. I know who the sergeant majors out there now. We got to get together and talk about something. I don't know what. We need to go out to the NCO club or something and have a brewski. Why can't do that till next year? I'll have milk. And somebody tell the sergeant major out there on base, I said, good morning. I know he's not a sergeant major, but I can't figure out what that name is again. So let's just tell him Sergeant Elkins said, simplify. And last but not least, of course, the United States Marine Corps, whose motto is Semper Fidelis. But the Marines couldn't pronounce all of that. So they said, Semper Fi. Make it simple, baby. Keep it the KISS method. Keep it simple. Keep it stupid. Semper Fi, Marines. Semper Fi. Still want me to say them dress blues, though. Somebody's got to make me an honorary Marine some kind of way. Maybe I guess Biden to do it. You know, it's tough being the only U.S. Army paratrooper on the airways of Montgomery, but I have to keep the tradition going. You know, I gotta always remember that the only reason why we're free because somebody paid the price. That's why we can talk smack on the radio in the mornings. You know, somebody sitting on the fence in somebody's country, somebody's uncle, somebody's aunt, somebody's father, somebody's mother, somebody's brother, somebody's daughter, somebody's dad is sitting on the fence someplace saying, not on my watch. And we appreciate it. So next time you see a service member, don't just say we appreciate your service. Buy the brother something. Get him some lunch or something. You know, don't just talk about, you know, show you appreciate it. Man, pick up the tab for the man's lunch. Unless you get like 3 people with him. Didn't tell me on his own. Anyway, good morning to you. It's time to rise and shine. Next time I see a brother at McDonald's, I'm just going to buy that lunch for him, right? So he knows that we really do appreciate it, okay? Take them $2 he was finna spend and put it in the gas tank. Okay, I'm just saying. Oh, tell me. It's been a long time. Long time coming. But I know change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. Oh, yeah. I got to join a choir. See, I want to join a choir where I can be the lead singer. That's what I want to be. So if they got a church out there need a lead singer, call me. Yeah, I'm gonna get down and do a little of that. Who's the guy that the old time gospel guy? James Cleveland. Yeah, do some James Cleveland. Yeah, do some of that. I stood on the banks of Jordan. Oh yeah. So I could see a ship go sailing by. Okay, all right. I'm just gonna give you a little bit of that. We'll get you the rest of that later on. Anyway, good morning to you. It's time to rise and shine this morning. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling really, really good. I feel good every morning though. Any morning I wake up, even if I don't feel very well, I still feel very well. You know what I'm saying? All right then. Gotta take a break. We'll come back and share a couple things with you. You know. And I got Marcia Johnson coming. She actually gonna come up here to the studio because I can't hardly do the thingamajiggers on the phone. Yeah, but I'm working on it. I went down to the boss's office yesterday, and I mean, I was on him. I was on him like a pig in slop. I mean, I'm on him. I'm on him. Say, can we please get this done? Okay. I mean, can't be too tough with the boss. Anyway, let's take a break, and we'll be back. Lessons of life. People change for 2 reasons. It's either they have learned an awful lot, or they have been through a lot. Which category are you in? We'll be back.
Temperatures a bit warmer than where we were on Monday, not by much, upper 70s with that afternoon sunshine. Tonight, we're down into the upper 40s and low 50s, mainly clear. And for the day on Wednesday, behind a morning cold front, temperatures only in the mid and upper 60s despite plenty of afternoon sunshine.
That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Sabry for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. The good news continues. Your Tuesday holds no major problems or accidents. Nothing's been reported by the authorities to send you on an alternate route. We checked with the surrounding counties. They're still clear as well. You keep listening. We'll keep you posted with the latest and the most accurate traffic conditions on the radio. If you're looking for a pickup or SUV, they're at Reinhardt Used Car Supercenter, and you're going to save some money. Reinhardt Used Car Supercenter. Buckle up. It's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch traffic, this is Major Delay.
For all your auto maintenance and repair needs, Chico's knows. Chico's Auto Pros now offers a full-service automotive center. Call Chico's today at 239-9510. Chico's knows.
Come fix my home, Bill Bradley.
Come fix my home.
Since 1968, Montgomery residents have trusted Bill Bradley. When something breaks, it's about giving you back the comfort and security of your home as quickly as possible. For plumbing, heating, and air conditioning concerns, we'll come fix your home. Bill Bradley, the River Region's only certified road dealer.
Bill Bradley, won't you please fix my home?
Certificate number 84449.
Every now and then, you come across a store that just makes you feel good inside, like the Feedlot at Pike Road, providing quality service, fair pricing, and a feeling of nostalgia. It's that time of year to get your garden started, and the Feedlot has all your supplies, plants, and more. Plus, Traeger grills are now in stock, just in time for warmer weather grilling. Enjoy more product knowledge and no big box crowds at the Feedlot at Pike Road. Check out their new building that makes you feel like home at 2050 Merriweather Road.
I have the power to say this is not how my story will end.
My recovery comes first, so everything I love in life doesn't come last.
It's never easy, and it's really never over. But I know recovery is possible.
This is Dr. Clark. You've come this far. We're here to help you continue. You've got this, and we've got you.
This is Dr. Jones. Breakthrough Wellness provides services you need to keep moving forward and upward.
Breakthrough Wellness Montgomery, Dothan, Clanton, and Phoenix City. BreakthroughWellness.net.
Newsman, you like this? I like it too.
Trump is right. Millions are tuning into Newsmax TV and going to Newsmax.com for real news. Some polls give Joe Biden a high job approval, even 60%. Now, Newsmax is asking if you agree with that. Do you really approve of Joe Biden, his policies, and $4 trillion in spending? And do you think President Trump did a better job? Let us know. Vote in the Newsmax poll right now. Just text the word PRIME to 39747. That's PRIME to 39747. It takes just a minute. Let America know who you like better, Biden or Trump. Tens of millions are watching Newsmax TV, now on all major cable systems, smart TVs, and OTT platforms. And vote now in the Newsmax poll. Just text the word PRIME to 39747. That's PRIME to 39747. Let your voice be heard. And watch Newsmax today.
Hi everybody, I'm Vicki Gunvalson. You probably know me as the OG of the OC.
Very special guest, Vicki Gunvalson.
Believe me, I'm a lot more than just a real housewife. And now I'm tackling a whole new territory with my very own podcast. It's called Whoop It Up with Vicki. And I'm talking about my life as a real housewife in front of the camera and behind the scenes. Subscribe to Whoop It Up with Vicki so you don't miss a thing.
From the Westwood One Podcast Network, where the conversation starts.
He is the voice of the conservative millennial.
The president is going to have to stand fast.
The Ben Shapiro Show.
They're not going to be willing to keep the government shut down.
Today at 3 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
Okay, I'm back. You know, I was in a store the other day, right? And young guy was there, a lot bigger than me, a lot taller than me. Of course, who's not taller than I am? That's no big deal. Who's not taller than me? But he called me something that I used to be offended by. But I think I'm of the age now where it actually works out pretty good. He called me something, and he did it out of total respect for me because he was talking about gray hair and everything. So he called me OG. Now, OG, I think it means original gangster. Now, I've never been much of a gangster, but I've been tough. You know, you got when you're 5, 6 in school, you got to be tough. I actually take a lot of butt whoopings. You know, so I appreciate the brother calling me OG. See, 'cause OG is a sign of respect. Okay, sign of respect. I appreciate that. You know, so now I'm gonna change the tags on my car. It says OG. Okay. So when I get my license plate renewed next year, it's gonna be, if I live and nothing happens, it's gonna be, because you can't take any of these days for granted. I'm gonna be OG. Okay, OG on them. That's what I'm gonna get put on my license plate next year. The original gangster. Okay. Anyway, good morning to you. Lessons of life. People change for two reasons. It's either because they have learned an awful lot, or they've been through an awful lot. Which one applies to you? Word of the day, incognitant. Okay? Incognitant. Now, I didn't say cogitate. I said incognitant. Okay? It means thoughtless, inconsiderate, not having the faculty of thought. So if I ever use this word with you, yeah, you just consider yourself being insulted. Okay? I'm just saying that. So if I say, boy, 50-50, you are incognitant. Now I'm going to say it with all the enthusiasm that I can gender up. But if you don't know what it means, you won't know. You just get insulted. Okay, I'm just saying. So incogitant is what the word is. Incogitant. Okay, thoughtless, inconsiderate, not having the faculty of thought. And that applies to a lot of people. Anyway, some of the things that happened on this day. It is April the 20th. Believe it or not, it is the 110th day of the year. It was on this day in 1999 that Columbine High School massacre took place in Colorado as 2 students shot and killed 12 classmates and 1 teacher before taking their own lives. At least they did the right thing in the end. In 1898, the United States moved closer to war with Spain as President William McKinley signed a congressional resolution passed the day before recognizing Cuban independence and authorizing U.S. military intervention to achieve that goal. In 1914, Ludlow Massacre took place when the Colorado National Guard opened fire on a tent colony and striking miners. About 20 accounts vary. Strikers and women and children died. So we haven't had the best record either when it comes to human interaction. Sometimes, even though we're the best country on earth, we still have our problems too. 1938, Olympia. Lenny Rosenthal's documentary about 1936 Berlin Olympic Games was first shown in Nazi Germany. In 1948, United Auto Workers President William P. Reuter, whatever his name was shot and seriously wounded in his home in Detroit, Michigan. In 1971, now this is an interesting one. 1971, on this day, the United States Supreme Court unanimously upheld the use of busing, that's where it all started to go wrong, to achieve racial desegregation in school. National Public Radio made its on-air debut, whatever that word is, with the live coverage of the U.S. Senate hearing on Vietnam War. Here's a question that I think is always going to haunt America. Did busing and forced desegregation help us or hurt us? Now, from a social aspect, I guess it's okay. We got to know who our neighbors are, but we are 2 different cultures, 2 different people made to try to get together. Did that help us or did it hurt us? I think the court's still out on that one. Okay, although I don't mind. I don't mind. I never knew it any other way, being from Indiana up there. 1972, Apollo 16 lunar module carrying astronauts John W. Young and Charles M. Duke Jr. landed on the moon. I'm still trying to figure out why we keep going up there. We don't ever bring nothing back. Unless we accidentally bring back an alien. Like the Alien movie, they go up there, they go to wherever they go, and all of a sudden, some alien hitches a ride back to Earth and then just kills everybody. So let's hope that doesn't happen when we go on the dark side of the moon. I'm just saying, I wouldn't mind going to the moon, but I wouldn't know what to do once I got there. They don't have no Popeyes chicken. They don't have nothing up there. No lights. No air conditioning. None of that stuff. So I'm just gonna stay down here. 1977, the U.S. Supreme Court in Woolley versus Maynard ruled 6-3 that car owners could refuse to display the state of their choice mottos on license plates, such as New Hampshire's "Live Free or Die." I mean, see that wrong there. 1986, when I was living in the lap of luxury over there in Honolulu, running up and down the Schofield Barracks, having a good time serving my country. That's what I was doing over there. Oh yeah, but it was all right. Everybody got to wear a Aloha shirt. Okay, I'm just saying. Following an absence of 6 decades, Russian-born pianist Vladimir Horowitz performed in the Soviet Union to a packed audience at the Grand Hall of Tchaikovsky Conservatory in Moscow. You got to have some culture. Really, like me. You got to have some culture to appreciate a good serenade from a pianist. I mean, you got to be able to suck up the ambiance. You got to be able to appreciate the atmosphere in which you find yourself at that time. So the next time there's a world-renowned pianist comes to Montgomery, I'm going to be in the crowd. Oh yeah, I don't care what the ticket costs. I'm going to be in the crowd, observing and getting my feel of that atmosphere. Yeah, I'm going to be there. So y'all let me know. So hopefully folks at Impact over there, let me know when the next world-renowned pianist comes to Montgomery. I'm just saying, I like to be there. 1988, gunmen who had hijacked the Kuwait Airlines jumbo jet were allowed safe passage out of Algeria under the agreement that freed the remaining 31 hostages, ended a 15-day siege in which 2 passengers were slain. 1992, that's right, the Freddie Mercury tribute concert for AIDS awareness took place in London's Wembley Stadium. Comedian Benny Hill died on this day in Greater London flat at the age of 68 in 1992. In 2003, U.S. Army forces took control of Baghdad from the Marines in a changing of the guard that thinned the military presence out in the capital. I mean, it took the Army, because Marines probably couldn't hold it that long anyway. Although I love them, don't get me wrong. But the Army, that's what we do. We come in and handle things, Army of one, and that kind of thing. In 2010, an explosion in Deepwater Horizon oil platform leased by BP killed 11 workers and caused a blowout that began spewing an estimated 200 million gallons of crude oil into the Gulf of Mexico. Now, the well was finally capped 3 months later. Now, you remember what all the people were saying when that oil was spilling. Now, listen, it is never good to have that kind. So don't get me wrong. It's never good to have that kind of, it's never good to have that kind of natural disaster on your hands. That's never good. But according to all the other folks, the sea was never coming back. It's kind of like when Mount St. Helens blew up. Remember Mount St. Helens? I was up there watching the mountain blow up, right? Up there in Washington. And they were talking about, it's never going to be the same. We spewed, Mount St. Helens put more dirt and ash in the air than 20 years of cars. And according to the environmental wackos, it was never going to come back. Guess what's coming back now? If you ever get a chance to go to Washington State, go up there, check out Mount Rainier. I mean, not Mount Rainier. Oh, Mount Rainier is pretty good too, though. But check out Mount, whichever one that was. Now I forgot the name of it that quick. My mind's going back. Anyway, whatever that mountain. What mountain was that? Okay, my mind, it just went blank. Oh, Mount St. Helens. Okay, that's what it was. Mount St. Helens. Okay, watch that sucker blow up. Bam! Just came all of a sudden, no place, and and it was about 200 miles away, and it gave us. I had ash on my car. Okay, Now, I was, I had a 1979 Cougar, baby. Cougar. I never will forget that car. Drove it from there to Fort Lee, Virginia. Yeah, beautiful car. Beautiful car. I know you didn't ask me about all that stuff. Okay. 10 years ago in Geneva, the United Nations opened its first anti-racism conference. I have to tell you, I can tell you on great authority, didn't do much good. Okay, I'm just telling you. 10 years ago, they had their first anti-racism conference, and I can tell you on good authority, it didn't work. Okay. Dozens of Western diplomats walked out as Iranian President Mohammed Ahmadinejad, okay, yeah, I know, I can pronounce that one, called Israel the most cruel and repressive racist regime. 9 countries, including the United States and Israel, were already boycotting the conference. I'm just saying, so the United Nations, its anti-racism conference was a bust. Didn't really do any good. Okay, not from what I can see. 5 years ago, Pope Francis made an Easter Sunday plea for peace and dialogue in Ukraine and Syria, and for an end to attacks against Christians in Nigeria, and for more attention to the hungry and the neediest close to home. Reuben Hurricane Carter, remember him? The boxer who was wrongful murder conviction in New Jersey, became an international symbol of racial injustice. He died at the age of 76, 5 years ago. 1 year ago, U.S. health officials told consumers to throw away any store-bought romaine lettuce, okay, because evidently some people have gotten sickened from it, okay? Also, Wells Fargo agreed to pay $1 billion for screwing, gluing, and tattooing the American people. Now, what I can't understand, okay, since we got screwed, because I remember Wells Fargo for a minute. Yeah, now we got screwed, but the government gets the money. I haven't figured that out yet. So why does the government get the money if we the one got screwed? Oh, that's a whole different story. The Democratic Party filed a lawsuit accusing Donald Trump presidential campaign of Russia, WikiLeaks, and Trump's son-in-law for conspiring to undercut Democrats in the 2016 election by stealing tens of thousands of emails and documents. You know the amazing thing to me about Democrats? I don't care what y'all say. I really don't care what you say because you're wrong. Democrats are hypocrites. I mean, real hypocrites. Really. Let's just take Maxine Waters. Maxine Waters made a statement the other day to try to intimidate people up there in Wisconsin. She told them to get in their face, be more aggressive. I mean, pretty much inciting a riot, which is what she did. But now, according to the Democrats, Donald Trump, who told people to peacefully protest, now she said, do what you got to do. Told people to peacefully protest. We said he incited a riot. Now, I don't care which side of this thing you're on. Honestly, I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, I am neither. Okay? But you cannot be seriously, you cannot think of yourself as a serious thinker in possession of all of your mental faculties if you cannot agree that Democrats in general, national, not the local folks, my friends, although some of them got some issues, but that's okay, that a woman who tells people to get in the face, raise hell, fight, all these kinds of things is not an incitement to a riot. You can't say that isn't. When if Donald Trump said it, who didn't say it in Washington, D.C. on January the 6th, we wanted to put him in jail. But Maxine Waters, a congresswoman that's been there for too long, can say exactly the same thing and worse, and nobody is calling for her to resign. Now, I don't quite get it. I mean, whichever party you happen to be in, whichever, I mean, do we really not think anymore in America about what people do? I mean, do we really not? I mean, Can Democrats, or people who call themselves Democrats, can they do anything that they want to, and they get a pass? I mean, is our court system that corrupt? Are we really that corrupt? What is inciting insurrection? Maxine Waters tells protesters to stay in the street, be more confrontational if Chauvin is acquitted. Now, as far as I'm concerned, that's inciting a riot. What is inciting a riot? Well, inciting a riot applies to a person who organizes, encourages, or participates in a riot. She encouraged it. It can apply to one who urges or instigates others to riot. Okay? So the term riot means a public disturbance involving an act or acts of violence by one or more persons, part of an assemblage of 3 or more people. So she was inciting a riot. Okay, I mean, that's what she was doing. But now nobody's gonna call her out. See, I'm all for calling anybody out, just as long as you treat everybody the same. Treat everybody the same. Okay. Now I think it's time for her to pack her bags a long time ago and go home. Okay. But it seems to me, just like I said, the other day, it seems to me all you got to do to represent Black folks in Congress or anything like that, all you have to do is blame somebody else for your troubles, and life goes on. Who's this on who's this on my, who's this? Good morning. Yes. He told them to be peaceful in that. Hey, I got the tape. He said peacefully. What's wrong with that? Well, he was the president. I'm not gonna get down the line and okay. So we got 2 standards. So, okay, I'm not. Okay. He said peacefully. Well, that's what we should do, peacefully. But he did say peacefully. And see, that's the part. What? He's the president. He can't be going up front. Well, they fools. If you think the president told you to go break into the Capitol, then you probably need to go to jail. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, no. But anyway, that was all. That's all I wanted to do. Something else. Now, I got a guest coming. Actually, I think she's gonna come in the studio, and I'm going to. I got to do my because I can't get my phones to work the way they're supposed to work. So, Marcia Johnson, who's running for the city council, as a matter of fact. She's gonna come in and one thing I'm not even gonna say this. I want her to know that the question is coming. I won't say it right now. Okay. There is something going on. Here's what I cannot understand about Montgomery sometimes. Can somebody please tell me? Now we are going to rename, which I don't have a problem with this at all. We are going to rename a street in Montgomery after Fred Gray, which I think he's due that honor. Okay. But here's what I can't understand. And I am befuddled by this. I am just absolutely befuddled. Why haven't we named any street after Martin Luther King? I mean, this is the city where he came to prominence. Why Now, Fred Gray's a good man, but why haven't we named a street in this city after Martin Luther King? Hell, Prattville got a street called Martin Luther King. So why we have no MLK in the city of Montgomery? And I have to ask our city council that. Fred Gray is certainly deserving the things he's been through and the stances he has taken. So we're not talking about Fred. I like Fred. I've talked to him a couple times. So not a problem there, but I'm just saying, why is it? Can somebody answer that question? Maybe they can't. Anyway, we'll be back after this break with my guest. Hopefully she'll show up. Unless she's scared. I don't think she's scared though. We'll be back.
Now, your WSFA 12 news update on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, I'm Judd Davis. Here's what's happening on this Tuesday morning. The eyes of the nation are on Minneapolis as jury deliberations begin in the trial of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin, charged in the death of George Floyd.
Oh boy,
what's up? From 45 witnesses on Monday, more than 4 hours of closing arguments. Floyd's death sparked global protests calling for racial justice, and now the city's preparing for another round. Here's the latest COVID news this morning. Some people are delaying their shots after reports that at least 6 people developed rare blood clots after receiving the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Over 6 million J&J shots were given out. Now CDC advisors will meet on Friday to discuss their most recent findings. Here's the latest on gas prices. They're holding steady in the last few days. AAA reports the national price for regular unleaded is $2.87 a gallon. That's up a penny in the last week. The Alabama average is $2.63 a gallon, the same as last week, but down 5 cents compared to last month. That's your news on this Tuesday morning.
News Radio 1440, the home of the University of Alabama baseball. Also heard on 95.1 HD3 WLWI.
This is the CBS World News Roundup, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Tensions are rising as a jury begins deliberating the case against former police officer Derek Chauvin. Correspondent Steve Futterman is in Minneapolis.
Last night on the streets of downtown Minneapolis, demonstrators were calling for guilty verdicts.
Guilty on all counts.
Today, jurors will have their first full day of deliberations. They spent a brief time yesterday discussing the case, this after listening to closing arguments from both sides. Prosecutor Steve Slisher said Derek Chauvin was responsible for George Floyd's death.
George Floyd begged until he could speak no more, and the defendant continued this assault.
But defense attorney Eric Nelson suggested other reasons for Floyd's death, including Floyd's heart condition and drug use.
It is nonsense to suggest that none of these other factors had any role.
The man who served as Jimmy Carter's vice president, Walter Mondale, has died.
I'm proud and honored to be a part of this team.
Mondale lost his Democratic bid for the presidency to Ronald Reagan in 1984 by a landslide, but made history by putting the first woman on a national ticket, Geraldine Ferraro. Robert Barnett worked on Mondale's campaigns.
When history writes about Walter Mondale, they will write about a man for whom public service was a calling. A man who cared about his constituents.
Walter Mondale was 93. A determination in the death of a Capitol police officer who died after January's riots and the reaction. CBS's Rebecca Kaplan from Washington.
U.S. Capitol Police said in a statement that they accept the findings that Officer Sicknick died of natural causes, but that, quote, this does not change the fact Officer Sicknick died in the line of duty, courageously defending Congress and the Capitol.
The medical examiner ruled Officer Sicknick suffered a stroke. COVID vaccines are now open to everyone 16 and over in the U.S., but new numbers show 1/5 of seniors still haven't gotten shots. In the EU, a study finds nutritional supplements may provide protection. CBS's Vicky Barker from London.
The British researchers found multivitamins, probiotics, omega-3 oil, and vitamin D all seem to lower the risk of women catching COVID-19. But they say they've only identified an association. Further study would be needed to establish if that's a causal effect.
Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti wants the city to spend a bundle on a growing crisis.
With the new money our budget is investing, we will dedicate nearly $1 billion towards ending homelessness.
He's laid out a basic guaranteed income pilot program of $1,000 a month. S&P futures down 15. This is CBS News.
CBS News Radio is your home for breaking news. With our team of reporters around the country and the world, we give you the coverage you can trust.
This is good news, maybe exactly when you need it too. Right now, MediShare is waiving their new member fees. This could save you money on top of all that you'll save each month by becoming a member of MediShare. So many people are looking for a healthcare solution right now, seeing the cost of COBRA plans, for instance, and MediShare is the affordable alternative to health insurance. The typical family saves $500 a month. You might save even more. MediShare is a Christian community that shares each other's healthcare costs, and because of the current economic situation, they're making it easier than ever. Apply by April 30th, and you can save an additional $170 on your first month. I'll give you the number here in a second, and if you call, you can get a price within 2 minutes. Just tell them the promo code SHARE to receive your additional savings. Maybe now is the time to make the switch like more than 400,000 people already have, and start saving. Here it is. Call 866-88-BIBLE. That's 866-88-BIBLE. 866-88-BIBLE.
4 astronauts prepping to blast off from Florida 2 days from now for the International Space Station.
Japanese astronaut Aki Hoshide has ridden the space shuttle in Russia's Soyuz. They tell CBS News the SpaceX Crew Dragon is a lot different.
I was looking around for switches. I felt very, awkward without physical switches here and there. And then I realized, okay, everything's on this touch screen.
French astronaut and Soyuz veteran Thomas Pesquet says Dragon's simplicity is a plus.
It took me 3 years and a half to be proficient on the Soyuz spacecraft, and it took me a bit less than a year on the Crew Dragon.
Peter King, CBS News at the Kennedy Space Center.
A fisherwoman in Stuart, Florida can boast the largest catch of the day ever. Jennifer Cameron says she struggled to reel in a swordfish that tipped the scales at 436 pounds. That's a world record. Didn't go to waste. She needed it for a fish fry fundraiser. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
For all your collision repairs, Chico's knows. Located on Atlanta Highway, just minutes from the Eastern Bypass. Call Chico's Auto Pros today at 239-9510. Chico's knows.
I love Urban Cookhouse. They have such a variety of healthy salads, sandwiches, and wraps made to order from the freshest fruits and veggies.
Urban Cookhouse is my favorite too, but you can keep your salad. I love their shrimp kebabs, lime marinated steak and chicken special. Their meats are cooked to perfection on green eggs right there in the kitchen.
It's safe to say we agree to agree. Urban Cookhouse is the freshest, tastiest, bestest casual restaurant in the entire river region.
Open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Located in East Chase across from Best Buy. Urban Cookhouse, simply the bestest.
Montgomery's most trusted shop for auto, paint, body, and mechanical repair. It's got to be McGriff. McGriff Auto Service also does oil changes and other routine maintenance, including warranty inspections. And they're still offering pickup within a 10-mile radius on Bell Street in Montgomery. McGriff.
This month at Larry Puckett Chevrolet, the deals keep coming. Save up to $6,500 on a new Silverado. Save 15% off MSRP on a new Malibu or Equinox. And save up to 17% off on a new Trax. Shop online at LarryPuckett.com for their great selection of pre-owned vehicles, or visit them at 2101 Cobbs Ford Road in Prattville. And if you have an extra vehicle you want to sell, bring it in for an instant cash offer. They are paying top dollar to keep the lot full. Larry Puckett Chevrolet on Cobbs Ford Road.
Okay, let me see. I'll go crazy. Let me see now. Where is my stuff at here?
By calling Oxford Gold today at 833-600. The Oxford Gold Group will teach you everything you need to know about earning more gold and silver. It's a lot easier than you think. Call the Oxford Gold Group right now at 833-600-GOLD to get your free gold and silver investment guide. Put your savings and retirement accounts into something real, like gold and silver. Get your Gold Group investment guide today and learn how easy it is to have real gold and silver delivered to your home, or how you can have real gold and silver in your retirement account. Don't sit back and watch your savings and retirement account suffer. Now is the time to make your money work as hard for you as you did for your money. So do this. Call the Oxford Gold Group right now, today, 833-600-GOLD. That's 833-600-GOLD.
He is the voice of the conservative millennials.
The president is going to have to stand fast.
The Ben Shapiro Show.
They're not going to be willing to keep the government shut down.
Tomorrow at 3 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
Okay. All right, now I don't see Marche, but maybe she's gonna call or something. I don't know. I know I'm tough, but I ain't that tough now. She's an Army non-commissioned officer, so we ought to be able to sit up here and have a great conversation. But I don't know what happened, so we just come. Yeah, maybe she'll call in and we can talk to her for a little bit here. But went down there twice and looking for her, couldn't find her. Think she got my phone number though. So I don't know where she is. Okay, but let me make sure I give her my number again here. So make sure she can call her brother if she needs to. 334-294-2551. Okay, that's it right there. So now you call me or text me on that number and we get you up here. Anyway, good morning to you. I was saying before I was so rudely cut off by the commercial breaks there. We are willing. I think the city of Montgomery is willing to pay. They're going to have to pay a little money in order to rename this street. I think of $25,000 to name it after Fred Gray. But I still have a hard time figuring out why we haven't got a street named Martin Luther King. Can somebody? Is there a prohibition on naming a street after Martin Luther King in the city of Montgomery? Since this is where he came to prominence. This is where he gained worldwide fame. He became of his own. Why wouldn't we? We got a church down here that the man used to pastor at. Why wouldn't we have is there a prohibition? Is there something in the charter that says we cannot have a street? Nothing wrong with Fred Gray. Fred Gray is a saint almost, for things he used to do. Going hard. So it's not got anything to do with him. It's just that the shepherd of that movement, the orator of that movement, the one who went in harm's way and gave his life for it, we don't have a street. That just amazes me that Prattville, and at the time was as white as it could possibly be, it honors Martin Luther King. So I can't figure that out. Maybe somebody on the city council can give me an answer to that, or somebody who's been here a long time. Maybe Joe Reed and them. I don't know why Joe Reed and them didn't do it. Why they didn't do it. I don't know. But it is what it is. I just can't figure that out. Why we don't have a street named Martin Luther King. Can anybody out there tell me? Did we have a backdoor meeting at the country club or something like that? Or the Capitol Hill Club where we said, well, we can't do that. Why is that? It makes no sense. It makes no sense, no reasonable, logical sense that there is not a street in this city named after Martin Luther King. It just doesn't make sense. Okay, it just don't. But anyway, I guess somebody's scared to put it up. I don't know. Anyway, good morning. Who's this? Pretty good.
I read that article this morning about renaming a portion of Federal Drive. I'm sorry, not Jefferson Davidson High School, High Street for Mr. Gray.
Yeah.
And I don't care. I ain't got a dog in that hunt. I don't live on that street. But here's my question. I also read in the paper we had another murder, a female that was killed. And out of that same shooting, you had 4 other injuries, a teenager and life-threatening injuries. How is renaming a street going to change the plight of African Americans in Montgomery?
Well, no, I personally can't answer that because I'm not looking for a name of a street to change the plight of anybody. Because you can answer. This morning, if you heard some of the things I read, we had 12-year-old kids go to a school in Columbine and kill plenty of students, and all the streets. Wait a minute, all the streets are named. Just about every street is named after somebody of their race. So it's got nothing to do with naming the street. But I will say one thing. I think you give honor to whom honor is due. And I think Martin Luther King, his legacy is due that honor. I got nothing to do with, I got nothing.
Most top 5 influential figures in this nation's history, hands down. I think more needs to be done for him. But I guess my point, keeping it local.
Right.
So we're going to have the city council consider this, renaming, changing, violating state law, which will get a $25,000 fine, and maybe even higher, because the state is looking at increasing the fines, changing the law, needing 60% of the folks that live on that street. My point is, Montgomery's got a whole lot bigger fish to fry. We set a all-time record with 68 homicides in Montgomery last year, and we're going to blow past that in the third quarter. And while we, look at the federal government, we're going to name this post office after such and such. We're going to do this, that, and the other. Rush Limbaugh had a wonderful saying, and it applies: symbolism over substance. And my fear is that politicians take the easy way out and enact symbolism while you are burning down in the house.
I don't necessarily disagree with at least the premise of your thought, but here's my problem. We have a lot of issues on both sides of the aisle here, black and white, rich and poor, left and right. We got a lot of issues on both sides. I believe that one of the reasons why we have the problems that we have, because we don't have politicians who are willing to do what needs to be done. There's no discipline. Okay, there's nobody wants to call a spade, because even if you say that today, somebody, yeah, and somebody wants to sue you for that. Malcolm X had a saying. He said that if you just get around, feel sorry for yourself, won't nobody care nothing about you. We haven't gotten mad, and that's on both sides. We need to become very angry at the things that are going on in our city, and that's on both sides. We need to become angry. We're not angry yet.
If we look at renaming a street, again, I don't care. Either way, yes, no, whatever. But yes, we have major issues, and we are distracted as a city government, through the city council and the mayor, focusing on such minuscule symbolism instead of saying, okay, here are the problems we face as a city. What are we doing to solve these problems? And let's not distract our time over meaningless activities that, while it looks good on paper and it might help people get reelected because we're looking after you, that's not stopping the killings. That's not stopping the deficit, the defunding of the Montgomery police, which happened to the tune of over $3 million. You understand, we had double the number of murders through the first 3 months of Montgomery than we did last year when we set the all-time record for murders in Montgomery. What are we doing to make the people's lives safer in Montgomery? And it has nothing to do with renaming a street.
But neither, right? But let me ask, right? But let me ask them. Building new gas stations all over Montgomery doesn't help that either. But the people who, well, right, I'm with you. But I'm just saying it hasn't stopped. So and you're making my point. We still have to go on with life as we know it to a certain extent, regardless of what's going. Even though the buildings are crumbling around us, until my building crumbles, then I still have responsibility to keep it up. And so I think we still have to do what our due diligence to continue on as reasonably as we can with the upkeep of our city. So yeah, I hear you, but to the child, well, again, The man has a national holiday after him. He's a source of pride for black folks all over the world. Right. 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 Yeah. Yeah. And what do you think? Well, let me ask you a question. What do you believe is the solution to that problem?
First and foremost, people need to feel safe living in Montgomery. And I've lived in Montgomery for over 50 years.
Yeah, I understand. But tell me what you right. But tell me what you think. And I got you. But what do you feel the solution is to that problem? And so even if we had more police, we couldn't really stop that. So now, are you absolutely sure? Right? Are you absolutely sure we only have 380 police? Mm-hmm. Mm. Okay. Right. All right. Well, if that in fact, okay, so that's part of. Appreciate your call, but I would imagine that probably can be part of that problem. And if we only have 380 policemen, I'm not sure. If Bud says that's what we have, I don't know. Maybe our city council can either confirm that, and if we only got 300 and a sound with 100 and almost 200,000 people, then we certainly need more police. The question is, how do you get more police? Look like we've been arresting some of them lately. You know, we'll be back right after this message. Is having more police a solution? Would that make you feel safer in the city of Montgomery if we had more police? We'll be back.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. With Indeed, you don't need a storm to catch lightning in a bottle. Find great people fast with hiring tools like Instant Match, which searches millions of resumes in Indeed's database to deliver people whose resumes fit your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Cloud cover through the morning with perhaps a light passing.
If you want me to stay, I'm here around the day.
Temperatures a bit warmer than where we were on Monday, not by much, upper 70s with that afternoon sunshine. Tonight we're down into the upper 40s and low 50s, mainly clear. And for the day on Wednesday, behind a morning cold front, temperatures only in the mid and upper 60s despite plenty of afternoon sunshine. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Savory for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. We've got an accident reported now. The 4,000.
If you want me to stay.
That is an accident with injury, so please use caution. 4,000 block of Wetumpka Highway. Also a minor accident, Highway 14 westbound at County Road 3 in Prattville. Outside of that, we're looking good. Interstate system still moving smoothly. No problems or big slowdowns there. Your new Toyota is online at reinhardttoyota.com. It's the best way to shop. Shipments of fresh inventory, trucks, and cars are arriving daily. reinhardttoyota.com. Buckle up. It's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
For all your auto maintenance and repair needs, Chico's knows. Chico's Auto Pros now offers a full-service automotive center. Call Chico's today at 239-9510. Chico's knows.
It's Zoo Weekend with a twist. In order to provide a safe and healthy environment for all guests, Zoo Weekend will be held over each Saturday in April. Every Saturday, the Montgomery Zoo will be magically transformed into a giant carnival full of fun, games, and live entertainment, giant slides, animal presentations, carnival-style food, and more. Admission is $17 for adults, $13 for children 3 through 12. Toddlers 2 years and younger and Zoo members get in free. Space is limited, so purchase your tickets today. We'll see you at the Montgomery Zoo.
Provocative. Personal, unfiltered. This is Mouthpiece.
Because we experience a lot of different things. We experience a lot of hate from the world. And the only thing that we can really run to is each other's arms. Together, we have something powerful.
Super Bowl champion and self-described feminist Michael Bennett and his wife Pele invite listeners into their professional and private lives by doing it authentic. Listen and subscribe to
Doing it
Mouthpiece.
authentically.
Free wherever you get your podcasts from the Westwood One Podcast Network.
When conversation starts.
Sam, put your shoes on. We're headed to the doctor in 10 minutes. Okay, Mom. Hey, am I going to get a shot? Yes, it's time for your yearly vaccines. We have to make sure all your vaccines are up to date before you start back to school. You know, I have to provide a record with the day and year you got the vaccine to the school. Okay, but Mom, how many more years do I have to get these shots? At least until college.
Alabama law requires children of all ages to be up to date on their immunizations before attending school. Every child needs to be vaccinated against polio, diphtheria, tetanus, pertussis, also known as whooping cough, measles, mumps, rubella, and chickenpox.
This is State Health Officer Dr. Scott Harris. For more information, visit our website, www.alabamapublichealth.gov.
This message brought to you by the Alabama Department of Public Health and this station.
Okay, here are 5 important reasons why your son or daughter should play a high school sport.
Number 1.
High school sports teach valuable life lessons like self-discipline, sportsmanship, and time management skills.
2.
Teens who play a high school sport have better grade point averages and fewer disciplinary problems.
Number 3.
High school sports help fight teen obesity and substance abuse.
Here's number 4.
High school sports provide wholesome, constructive after-school activity, perfect for today's families.
And number 5.
And high school sports are safer than ever before. Injury surveillance and research, better equipment, and the continuing education programs for coaches provided by state and national athletic associations have made high school sports safer than ever before.
This message presented by the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
He is the voice of the conservative millennials.
The president is going to have to stand fast.
The Ben Shapiro Show.
They're not going to be willing to keep the government shut down.
Monday afternoon at 3 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
All right, then. Okay. We're here. Somebody's got to pay my big salary. Got to take the breaks. Y'all need to get some more patience out there. 860-1440-725 in the morning. If you want to give us a call, 860-1440. I was expecting Marche. Maybe she's coming at 8 o'clock. I'm not sure. Okay. But it does sound like we need more policemen. That's what it sounds like. Good morning, Ziz. Thanks for holding. Fine.
Boy, you put old Bud on the spot a while ago now. He always complaining about this and that, what the blacks ain't doing in the neighborhood, blah, 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 blah. But you ask him what his solution would be. He hesitated for 2 or 3 minutes. He didn't have an answer for you. So he started reaching, talking about the police. I expected him to talk about, we need to come together as a city, white and black, to talk to our kids, and this and that, blah, blah, blah. But he reached back to the old trick talking about the police. Most times the police show up after the fact.
Well, that's true. I mean, their job is to respond. Well, we don't want to put people in jail before they commit a crime, do we?
you go. But he always complaining about what's going on. You shouldn't put a sign up, this and that, and what we need to do. But you asked him a simple question, he couldn't answer. He didn't.
I don't think nobody can answer.
He talking about what needs to be done, this and that, but he didn't have a solution.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, and again, that's an insult to Martin Luther King. You don't even know that thing is there. I mean, you know, as a matter of fact, the sign's not even out there anymore.
Man. Anyway, that's all I got to.
All right, appreciate. Yeah, the signs like it used to be when I first got there in '91. There was a sign out there, but you go through it so fast that you don't even know you're on the Martin Luther King Expressway. Come on, man. You might as well name it Elkins Expressway. That's how much people pay attention to it. 860-1440 is the number here. You got something you want to say? You know, why is it that we don't have? Can we not find policemen? Or you know, now I think one of the problems we have with getting police. There's a saying. Sometimes when you lower the standards, it doesn't do what you think it's going to do. Being a policeman is a tough job. It's certainly tough now politically for everybody that gets involved in it. But let me just put you this way. If people, and again, I grew up from a teenager to my 30s in the Army. So that's how I grew up. So if the airborne school was a school that everybody passed, I wouldn't have won. No big deal, right? If there are other schools, there are leadership schools I went to, if everybody couldn't get out of it, like I was in Germany, okay, 40% of the people that were in this class is called Primary Leadership Development Course, PLDC. 40% of the people who started didn't finish. When I got to Fort Lewis in the RIP class, we started with 40 people. We ended up with 13. Okay. If you lower the standards of the police department just to fill the slots, you're going to end up doing a lot of things that we're doing now. We're finding policemen who should have never put on that uniform. Okay, never put on that uniform. Some probably get screwed, glued, and tattooed. I'm with you. But there's some who shouldn't. I've never seen in my life so many policemen getting arrested. You know, I mean, you're supposed to be doing the arresting, okay? Because you cannot lower the standards in order to get qualified people. You'll get more people, but you won't get qualified people. People like challenges. They really do. People like challenges. People don't want to go where everybody passes. Okay, when you start letting police wear the beard, wear the tattoos all on them, looking like gangbangers, you know, if I'm on the outside looking, hell, I don't want to be part of that. If I want to be a part of that, I just join the gang down the street. So I'm just telling you, there's a standard. You know, when you put on that uniform, everybody knew that you had to go through something. You didn't just get it because you went down there and filled out an application. Filling out the application was part of the process, but it was not the total process. I'm just telling you, you just, and I think a lot of people are probably not applying for the police department. Well, in today's environment, you can kind of understand. Police don't know, even if he's trained to do a certain thing a certain kind of way, politically, it may not have a good look, and therefore we're going to railroad the guy. Other day, I'm down at the police department. I'm at the city council meeting, and a bunch of policemen down there, angry at leadership. Now, I don't know whether or not leadership of the police department is the cause for some of these things at our Montgomery Police Department. I don't know. I don't work down there. I'm not. But I can tell you one thing. Anytime you have that many rank and file people complaining about leadership, it needs to be looked into. Because what we need to figure out, is it just a bunch of hogwash? And these are people with 15 years, almost 20 years as a police officer who are complaining. Now, so what we need to figure out is the leadership of Montgomery Police Department worthy of that position? Or do we have a bunch of whiny policemen who joined an organization that had some standards and they just can't meet them? I don't know. So I do believe that part of our problem in our city is we have a lack of police. I believe that. I believe that's important. Mayor and city council members, if we're going to willing to pay $25,000 to rename a street, I'm just saying, you might put a couple $1,000s with that and hire one more policeman. I'm just saying, you might want to think about doing that now, rather than pay a fine. Rather than pay a fine with the money, how about let us hire at least one more policeman? That one more policeman may make a difference some kind of way. I'm just saying. 7:34 in the morning. Good morning. Who's this? I'm doing fine.
No, Kevin. Hate. Killing. You kill because you hate, I guess. Killing and hating. But I keep thinking about what God told Jeremiah. Because as sins have increased, there will be no hearing medicine. And all around the world, sin, hate, killing. All this going on right now in our faith. But I agree. Dr. King, when he said all this stuff, like a street, name of a street, Apple Hill, that don't matter. Don't even think about that. That don't even count. Forget about that. No, let's kind of concentrate on loving people now, Kevin, because hate is like taking over everywhere, in our home, in our churches, all around the world. Hate. And this is not going on with what Sergeant said. Hate and money. But let's keep in mind about, because the sins have increased, there will be no hearing medicine. That's something to think about.
All right, Ed, I appreciate your contribution. Montgomery may change city law, defy state law to name a street for Fred Gray. According to the article, it's been 4 months since Montgomery Mayor Stephen Reed proposed renaming Jefferson Davis Avenue in honor of Fred Gray, the groundbreaking civil rights attorney who grew up there. Now, Reed is asking the Montgomery City Council to go on record for their support for the plan in the face of potential fine for violating state law, and despite a municipal law that has slowed the renaming process to a crawl. Gray was the attorney for Rosa Parks and legal advisor to Reverend Martin Luther King, amongst other civil rights figures. He won court victories against segregation and inequality throughout the civil rights era that reshaped the nation, often while facing personal and professional retaliation. And again, I think the guy he deserves something, some recognition. But again, I just thought, I was just wondering why, Now, according to this article, changing the street name would appear to violate the Alabama Memorial Preservation Act, which was enacted in 2017 amid a fear that cities would move to destroy Confederate monuments. It also protects streets more than 40 years old that have been constructed for or named or dedicated in honor of an event, a person, a group, a movement, or military service. Violating the law will put the city on the hook for a $25,000 fine. Reed said people across the nation have reached out during the past few months and volunteered to pay for the fine. They may pay for the first one, but I don't know if they're going to pay for all of them. Montgomery City Council President Charles Jenwright noted that while he supports the idea of the name change, the state law is just one of the potential roadblocks. The process has come to near a standstill because municipal law requires 60% of property owners to agree to a name change, and many of those who own property along Jefferson Davis Avenue live elsewhere and are slow to reply. 60%, huh? That's pretty good, I guess. I guess that's not too bad, and that's reasonable, I guess. But anyway, so much for that. And here, there are bigger fish to fry than naming streets after people. I think that Fred Gray's name stand on his own, to tell you the truth. But that's just something that something will have to work out. Although $25,000, I don't know if that's a first one-time fee, or is it $25,000 a month? Is it $25,000? Again, by the time we get done spending all that money, we could have another couple of policemen on the street and pay them. There has seemingly been a civilian board formed in Birmingham to review Birmingham police actions. I actually am for a civilian review board, but not for the same reasons that other people are. I think, just like Birmingham, I think Montgomery needs a civilian police board to communicate the actions of the police. There is nothing that police officers should be able to do that is not easily explained to the average citizen in the city of Montgomery. If you can't explain it and the reason for it, maybe you shouldn't have done it. Okay, that's what the civilian review board is all about. I don't know about all this subpoena power and all that stuff. You give people a little bit of power and it goes to the head. Yeah, I don't know if that board should have subpoena power, but it certainly should have the power in the back end of the mayor's office to find out whatever it is they want to find out. Okay, because one thing about it, once a police officer is involved in something, he ain't gonna talk to you. Not that I blame him. He's not gonna talk to you. Okay, but I do believe that the civilian review board would be a board that is like a liaison between us, the mayor, and the police and the citizens. And we can call them and find out, because there are some things that are written that we don't quite understand. So we need somebody to explain these things to us. And I think there ought not be anything in the SOPs, in the training manuals, and all that stuff that the police use in order to train that ought not be easily explained to us, the civilians. There shouldn't be anything that's that difficult. The police ought to be able to explain what they do to a third grader. Okay, to a third grader. A third grader ought to be able to understand Okay. Why did you pull him out of his car? Well, because we suspected him of doing something. And why did you suspect him of doing something? Because he was fidgety. Can you explain? Can you explain that? See, those are the kinds of things that I believe that the Civilian Review Board ought to be able to ask policemen. Okay, why did you do that? Well, he had a light out. Okay, it's against the law to have one light out. We can understand that. I'm just saying. Birmingham's got one, and I think also former Vice President Walter Mondale has died at age of 93. Now, here's an interesting one. Here's an interesting one that I was reading a story the other night about a young man that had all kinds of problems in school. This kid couldn't sit still. This kid just had all kinds. They put him out of the classroom. He became disruptive and all these things, and they just couldn't. Nobody could fit. They gave him ADHD medicine. Okay, they gave him all kinds of things, and it still did not. Oh, it's supposed to be tomorrow. All right, so Marcia will be here tomorrow. Sorry about that. Somebody said today. All right, then. We'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow it is. Tomorrow should be here. Okay, so I thought it was supposed to be today. Anyway, so this kid was just, they tried to give him medicine, put him out to class. Nobody can know nobody knew what his problem was. And finally, they gave him a mathematical equation at NASA that nobody there could figure it out. At NASA, the National Aeronautics Space, whatever it is, NASA. This kid, 13 years old, figured it out. And so I got to thinking, rather than give our kids ADHD drugs, why don't we challenge them? Because maybe, and I think it's possible, does anybody believe that there are children in your class that are smarter than you? Is it possible that kids in classrooms can be smarter than the teacher? I mean, intellectual. I mean, just smarter than the teacher. Listen, I've been in places where, not too often, but I've been in places where kids younger than me were smarter than I was. I mean, just had a natural intelligence that they could figure out all kinds. This kid figured out a 13 years old figured out a mathematical computation at NASA that they couldn't figure out. So I just wonder sometimes, before we start labeling kids, like sometimes I've done, maybe there ought to be a way to test them and put them in a different environment, because maybe we just boring the hell out of them. Okay, maybe we are just boring our kids. Maybe that's what we're doing. We're boring the hell out of them. Maybe we are. But this kid, you had people with PhDs in mathematics couldn't figure this out. This kid who gets through out of school and they wanted to put him on medicine and all kinds of things because they failed to understand that he was just a brilliant kid. He was just smarter than most of the school. Matter of fact, smarter than everybody in the school. Okay, so I'm just saying, before we keep putting our kids on, giving them diagnoses as ODD or ADD or ADHD and all this crap, why don't we challenge them to do more? Okay, I said we ought to have a special school. Our magnet schools, the special schools, should truly be for kids like this, okay, rather than a 2.5 GPA. Now, I don't think you ought to be in a magnet school with a 2.5 GPA. That's average, okay? If you can't be average, then what good are you? I mean, really, we lowered the standards in our magnet school. And by doing that, we have lowered the prestige of that school, of all of these schools. Okay, 2.5. Come on, man. Hell, I can get a 2.5, and I ain't been in school in 40 years. Okay, maybe not that. Yeah, it's been a minute. But I can get it. I bet you I can go to any school, take any test they have right now, and get a 2.5. Guarantee I could. But then again, everybody's not quite like me. I'm kind of brilliant. Anyway, we'll be back right after this. That was just one of the things I was reading last night, and we got something else. I got something else. So y'all got me reading all these books now, so my mind is just working overtime. Okay, I'm working overtime. Anyway, Lee County School ending mass requirements. You know, I'll tell you what I think about that when we come back.
Alert weather forecast on News Radio 1440.
This report is sponsored by SmartMouth, the only 24-hour mouthwash with twice daily use. If you talk to someone and they jump back because of your breath, you need SmartMouth, the 24-hour mouthwash. You want to turn heads, but not like that. SmartMouth is the only mouthwash that can provide 24-hour fresh breath when used twice a day. Pick up a bottle of SmartMouth today or visit smartmouth.com.
Cloud cover through the morning with perhaps a light passing shower south of US 80, and then by the afternoon it turns mainly sunny. Temperatures a bit warmer than where we were on Monday, not by much, upper 70s with that afternoon sunshine. Tonight we're down into the upper 40s and low 50s.
Walking on
Wednesday behind a morning cold front, temperatures only in the mid and upper 60s despite plenty of afternoon sunshine.
That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Savory for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Right now, we've got two things working, so please use caution. 4000 block of Wetumpka Highway. That's an accident with injury just north of the North Boulevard. Also, a minor crash on Highway 14 westbound at County Road 3 in Pratt. Enjoy your favorite movies safely at the AMC Festival Plaza Theater, Festival Plaza, Taylor and Vaughn. Another great McClinton and Company development. Buckle up, front and back, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch traffic, this is Major Delay.
For all your auto maintenance and repair needs, Chico's knows. Chico's Auto Pros now offers a full-service automotive center. Call Chico's today at 239-9510. Chico's knows.
Calling all residents of District 3. On April 27th, you can create a new vision for District 3. For growth in our business community, increased access to resources, and updated community centers, vote Marche Johnson on April 27th for City Council District 3. Marche is a mom, veteran, and community leader who will actively work to facilitate collaboration among city officials, community leaders, and businesses to create a new vision for District 3. On April 27th, do it for the district. Marche is on the move.
Paid for by the Committee to Marche Johnson, PO Box 581, Alabama, 32402.
When the forgotten poor are in need of healing, they wait for a ship unlike any other. Mercy ships. A floating hospital staffed by volunteers, heroes of mercy who donate their time to save lives.
Every human has the right to have a place at the table of the human race.
If you could just see the smiles that you get when lives have been changed, then it would make it all worth it.
To learn more about Heroes of Mercy, go to mercyships.org.
2020 was a challenging year, but things are looking up, including the stock market's performance. But will it last? Hi, I'm Ken Moray, Senior Advisor at Retirement Planners of America. If you are 50 or older, call us today to schedule a free consultation to learn more about our Invest and Protect strategy that is designed to help mitigate the risk of the stock market. Call us today at 800-375-1159 to schedule your free assessment. That's 800-375-1159.
It's time for fun in the sun, but be careful how much sun. Too much sun exposure can be dangerous. Skin cancer is the most common form of cancer in the United States, affecting all races, genders, and generations. Experts believe that 4 out of 5 cases of skin cancer could be prevented since damage from the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays is mostly avoidable. No matter where you are this summer, whether it's the beach or the backyard, take a few minutes to protect yourself from the sun. Try to stay out of the sun as much as possible, especially between the hours of 10 a.m. and 4 p.m., when the sun's rays are at its strongest. Wear a hat and long sleeves, and put on sunscreen repeatedly throughout the day. Remember, your skin can be affected by the sun's rays even when it's cloudy.
This is State Health Officer Dr. Scott Harris. For more information, visit our website, www.alabamapublichealth.gov.
My wife and I enjoyed a wonderful dinner last week with friends we hadn't seen in a long time.
The next day, we received a handwritten note which they delivered to our mailbox, letting us know how much they had enjoyed our dinner together, along with an article that we had discussed. You know, in today's high-tech, low-touch world, it's refreshing to get a thoughtful handwritten note once in a while. It's enough to inspire me to get started. To learn more, check us out at thekindnessrevolution.net.
The Rush Limbaugh Show. And these people look absolutely pathetic. After Rick and Bubba, it's the EIB Network at 11 a.m. And it's only on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
Okay, we're back. We're here. We got something going on here. You know, I saw a article in the paper last night, whatever. It says the gambling medical marijuana votes in Alabama House could be weeks away. Now, I don't mean to insult anybody because that's not what I do, at least not all the time. I don't mean to insult anybody. I realize that our body of legislators are at least competent to be there. At least I'm going to give them that much credit. Okay. But we've been talking about gambling, lottery, medical marijuana for years. And they can't come up with a plan just to take a vote. Okay, just take a vote. They can't. House Speaker Mac McCutcheon, a Republican from Monrovia, said recently bills authorizing medical marijuana and establishing a lottery and gambling won't come up for a vote in the chamber for a few weeks. The medical marijuana bill may not come up to the floor until the last week of the session. He said, I think members are still educating themselves and are still reading the bill. McCutcheon said the medical marijuana legislation, I couldn't stand up and say it would be an absolute pass because there are still some no votes. So it seems to me, this is just me, you know, from afar, from looking out, you know, I'm on the curb, looking above the curb, you know, trying to see what's going on. And it seems to me that this game, they must be waiting to see which lobbyist is going to give more money. I mean, seriously, yeah, more money. We've been talking about this so long. Now, I hate to say this because, you know, I'm not a legislator. I could be one. Considering what I see, yeah, I could be one. Do we have a lot of stupid people in the legislature? I just got to ask that question. Do we have unintelligent beings in the legislature? Before they came in session, they knew what was going to be out there. Do we not have very smart people in Alabama, in the House of Representatives, and in the state Senate? Do we not have smart people? Or is somebody waiting for the right check to pass? That's all I'm asking. Because this stuff has been talked about for 20 years. Again, are we waiting for the right lobbyists with the right check, okay, to vote? I mean, is that what we're waiting for? Because I'm beginning to feel like, hell, I'm one of the smartest guys in town. I think I can look at the bill. The people want it. Most people want it. Medical marijuana, obviously, medically has been shown to be benefit to certain medical conditions. Okay, we know that by now. Everybody knows that. Plus, you never take marijuana and want to rob a bank. You may take marijuana and want to go sit down in the bank, but you don't want to rob the bank. Okay, you just want to chill out somewhere and go eat, which is okay because you need to eat. But it just seemed like to me, I've been there 30 years. I thought we had some of the smartest people in Alabama in the House of Representatives and in the state Senate. I thought these guys were just had me hand over foot of intellect. I mean, I just thought these guys were eating my lunch intellectually. I was wrong. I was wrong. I was totally wrong. Okay. Most of these guys don't seem to be that smart at all. Seriously, we can't make a decision on anything. It takes weeks to make a decision. Weeks. Again, so the only thing I can glean from this is that the right lobbyist has not wrote the big check yet. Okay, big pharma, okay, probably don't want the medical marijuana. Okay, so they're doing the best they can to not pass it. Okay, the lottery. We've been talking since 1999 about the lottery. Ever since Sigmund got screwed, glued, and tattooed. I'm just saying. So, is our legislators not that bright? Really, are they not that smart? It seems to me that I'm correct. Well, we'll be back.
WSFA 12 News Update on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, I'm Jen Davis. Here's what's happening on this Tuesday morning. The eyes of the nation are on Minneapolis as jury deliberations begin in the trial of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin, charged in the death of George Floyd. In the last 3 weeks, we heard from 45 witnesses. On Monday, more than 4 hours of closing arguments. Floyd's death sparked global protests calling for racial justice, and now the city's preparing for another round. Here's the latest COVID news this morning. Some people are delaying their shots after reports that at least 6 people developed rare blood clots after receiving the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Over 6 million J&J shots were given out. Now CDC advisors will meet on Friday to discuss their most recent findings. Here's the latest on gas prices. They're holding steady in the last few days. AAA reports the national price for regular unleaded is $2.87 a gallon. That's up a penny in the last week. The Alabama average is $2.63 a gallon, the same as last week, but down 5 cents compared to last month. That's your news on this Tuesday morning.
News Radio 1440, WLWI AM and 95.1 HD3, Montgomery, a Cumulus station.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. George Floyd's brother says he got a phone call from President Biden last night after deliberations began in Derek Chauvin's murder trial. Philonis Floyd tells NBC.
The loser family member, and he know the process of what we're going through, so he was just letting us know that he was praying for us and hoping that everything will come out to be okay.
Jurors begin their first full day of deliberating shortly. Correspondent Steve Futterman is in Minneapolis.
Basically, wherever you look, you can see boarded up windows, you see metal barricades, concrete barricades. The city says it is ready. At the same time, almost every official, the governor, the mayor of Minneapolis, everyone is calling for peace, even if people do not agree with the verdict.
Latino lawyers and community leaders in Chicago want the Justice Department to investigate the deadly shooting of a 13-year-old boy.
It's got a gunshot victim. Shots fired by the police.
Body cam video released last week shows Adam Toledo with his hands in the air as an officer fired. Police say they found a handgun near his body. The UN is reporting a surge of migrant children entering Mexico, hoping to eventually travel to the U.S. The Children's Fund counts an average of 275 a day crossing from Honduras and Guatemala. Advocates blame poverty, violence, and back-to-back hurricanes. COVID vaccinations opened up to all Americans 16 and older last week, but some in that older group aren't taking advantage. CBS's Wendy Gillette.
Around 80% of those 65 years and older have gotten at least one dose of a coronavirus vaccine, but that leaves 20% still in need. And with every American 16 years and older now eligible, seniors will find it harder to get an appointment.
Cargo ships are trying to cram California ports. KPIX TV's Andrea Nakano is in Oakland.
The backup of cargo ships extends up and down the West Coast. These large cargo ships just parked out on the water, and every one of these cargo ships full of containers, full of items that might take a little while longer to get to your local store or your front door.
Experts blame a post-pandemic buying spree. Snobbiest states in the nation? Why, the home of Harvard, Natch. CBS's Diane King Hall with results from the career site Zippia.
Massachusetts took the crown, followed by Vermont, Connecticut, and New York.
Meanwhile, West Virginians were the most humble. Zippia compiled its list weighing factors like education levels, number of Ivy Leagues, and wine consumption.
S&P futures down 15. This is CBS News.
CBS News Radio is your home for breaking news. With our team of reporters around the country and the world, we give you the coverage you can trust.
This is good news, maybe exactly when you need it to. Right now, MediShare is waiving their new member fees. This could save you money on top of all that you'll save each month by becoming a member of MediShare. So many people are looking for a healthcare solution right now, seeing the cost of COBRA plans, for instance, and MediShare is the affordable alternative to health insurance. The typical family saves $500 a month. You might save even more. MediShare is a Christian community that shares each other's healthcare costs, and because of the current economic situation, they're making it easier than ever. Apply by April 30th, and you can save an additional $170 on your first month. I'll give you the number here in a second, and if you call, you can get a price within 2 minutes. Just tell them the promo code SHARE to receive your additional savings. Maybe now is the time to make the switch like more than 400,000 people already have, and start saving. Here it is, called 866-88-BIBLE. That's 866-88-BIBLE. 866-88-BIBLE.
A teenage climate activist is back.
We have the tools we need to correct this great imbalance that exists around the world today in the fight against COVID-19.
Greta Thunberg spoke before the World Health Organization Foundation, urging governments and vaccine developers to do more.
Those who are the most vulnerable need to be prioritized, and global problems require global solutions.
Thunberg says it's unethical for high-income countries to snatch up vaccines as frontline workers and those with health risks in poor countries suffer. Her comments come as the World Health Organization announces 5.2 million new global COVID cases in the last week alone. Monica Ricks, CBS News.
If you need a new iPad, it's likely there's a brand new version on the way. Apple hosts its spring-loaded event from Cupertino, California today. It's expected to take the wraps off an iPad Pro with better processors, upgraded cameras, and a choice of 11 or 12.9-inch screens. Plus, they may have an Apple Pencil. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Money. The 25K Workday Payday. It's all about money. It's your national keyword to win $100. Text dollar, DOLLAR, dollar to 95819. Standard messaging rates apply. Don't text and drive. We'll text back to confirm your entry. If you win, you'll be entered to win a grand prize of $25,000. It's the 25K Workday Payday on News Radio 1440.
I'll do it. Captain Washington, right down here on that beautiful Alabama River. We got a steamer, we got a fryer, we got a grill, we got some good fresh seafood for you. So y'all check all that out at CaptainWashington.com. You'll see a menu. Y'all gonna see a place where we got some RV park down here. You can bring your bus or your camper and come down here. Also bring your boat down here, park at the marina, or rent a pontoon boat from us. We just got a lot going on. Sunday afternoon at 5 o'clock, Mr. Tommy Talton will be down here with his band. You heard it right. Tommy Talton, Sunday afternoon, Castle Ocean. See you soon.
Calling all residents of District 3. On April 27th, you can create a new vision for District 3 for growth in our business community, increased access to resources, and updated community centers.
I go crazy.
For City Council District 3, Marcia is a mom and leader who will actively work to facilitate collaboration among city officials, community leaders, and businesses to create a new vision for District 3. On April 27th, do it for the district. Marcia is on the move.
If you're worried about your hard-earned dollars becoming worthless or your 401k or IRA losing value, now is the time to move into gold. No, not gold or silver stocks. For real gold and silver, you can actually hold in your hands. How do you get real gold and silver? By calling Oxford Gold today at 833-600-GOLD. The Oxford Gold Group will teach you everything you need to know about owning real gold and silver. It's a lot easier than you think. Call the Oxford Gold Group right now at 833-600-GOLD to get your free gold and silver investment guide. Put your savings and retirement accounts into something real, like gold and silver. Get your free Oxford Gold Group investment guide today and learn how easy it is to have real gold and silver delivered to your home, or how you can have real gold and silver in your retirement account. Don't sit back and watch your savings and retirement account suffer. Now is the time to make your money work as hard for you as you did for your money. So do this. Call the Oxford Gold Group right now, today, 833-600-GOLD. That's 833-600-GOLD.
Many of the locally owned and operated restaurants you love are staying open to serve you during this difficult time. To find a list of these restaurants, visit newsradio1440.com. Eat local and help our local businesses stay open.
Oh, mercy, mercy me. All things ain't what they used to be. No, no. Oil wasted on the ocean and upon our seas, fish full of mercury. Oh, oh, mercy, mercy me. All things ain't what they used to be. No,
You know, I just noticed we have a mental health authority, but we don't have a mental health facility, do we? I just wondered. We got all these boards. So where's the mental health facility in Montgomery if we got a board for it? I just asking the question here. I mean, I'm looking at my paperwork here. It says mental health authority. Got the term is 6 years. It was established in 3/12/1968, and it's supposed to have 24 members on it. Okay, I'm just wondering, what do we do? What do they do? I mean, do we actually have a mental health organization here that we? I mean, what's it for? I don't know. That's another thing too. Man, we sure got a lot of people on boards around here, and nothing wrong with being on the board. I'm on one myself. But if we don't do nothing, why do we got a board? I mean, I didn't know we had a mental health board. We got a mental health board, but what do they do? We always hear you can't put panhandlers off the street because they all got issues, and most of them probably do. But so what do the boards do? I mean, why do we put people on these things? You know, if we don't do anything. So I'm just wondering. I mean, I got 71 pages here of board members. 71 pages, okay, of board members here. That what do we do? You know, I guess you just like being on the board, I guess. Good morning. Who's this? Fine. Mm.
They would be evaluated, and it's then that they would make the decision whether or not to, send you to Crossbridge for inpatient care.
Okay. And is that? But I know we don't have grill anymore, right?
Grill anymore. They shut it down. It's now the Montgomery area, mental health facility, but they closed it down. It's strictly outpatient. Grill used to be an inpatient facility, but now it's strictly outpatient. And I feel as though there is a need to, reinstate these hospitals or clinics because you see a lot of these individuals on the street. A lot of these homeless people that you see, if it were not for those hospitals being closed down, would probably be.
Yeah, yeah. I guess I'm just trying to figure out why do we have a board if we don't have the facilities to board over.
It's been around since 1960s.
1968. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Huh? Yeah. Right. Right. Hmm. Yeah. All right. Appreciate it. I was just wondering. Good morning. Yes. Hmm.
It's near your home. Um, the facility it's in the old grill. Well, it's in the old. If you're coming from the police station,
Right. It'd be on the left there. Right. On the right. It'd be on the right. Yeah. It'd be on the right up the hill, on the top of the hill. Mhm. Mm. Mm-hmm.
a great service to the community.
Yeah. And again, I'm just wondering. I got 71 pages here of board members, all these boards in Montgomery, and I mean, what do they do? I never hear. I never hear from them. We never hear anything from people. I mean, mm-hmm. Yeah. No, no, no. But again, but if you're gonna, right. But if you're gonna be on it, whether you get paid or not, if you take the responsibility of it, then let us know what's going on, what you do, or what you need. Then you need help. I mean, if you're gonna be on it, then do something. Well, that's for the right. That's privacy for the individual, but not for the group. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's one of them. But then we have one of the most important boards in the city of Montgomery, which is the I believe it's called the Industrial Development Board. Now that's important because they determine, I guess, by their yays and their nays, what happens. But I thought that's what the Chamber of Commerce did. Okay. Yeah, for a minute, and then yeah, but I didn't make enough money to be. Well, listen. Okay, now to be honest, I was broke, so they didn't benefit me a whole lot. You got to bring something to the table in order to get something off of it, and I didn't bring very much to the table. I was just trying to be there. Yeah, that's true.
Whenever you get that, I need to contact you about that intern. I
Yeah,
got a young man that
yeah, okay. Well, yeah. For the master, I got you. Yeah, I love to talk to him. Love to talk to him. Yeah. Is it? Is he a Democrat? Good. We gonna get along fine. That's the kind of guy that I like to talk to. How old is he? Okay, still young yet. Okay, so I might can train him. Okay, you might. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Hey, you know my number. Call me. 8:17 in the morning. Good morning. Who's this? Yes.
Real quickly now, I want to give you a quick scenario. If you were called down and they told you that, Kevin, we want you to be at the next council meeting, we're going to honor you. You've been around town, you've been a good steward, you've been on the radio, you've done a lot of good things, and we're want to honor you at the next council meeting, and you find out that what they're going to do is recognize you and give you a bucket of trash, how would you feel? What would be your response to that?
Now, it depends. No, it depends on what you call trash. Well, I would have to thank them for their generosity, but they say no thanks.
And no means do I oppose them changing the name if they want to honor Fred Gray. But if you was to go down Jeff Davis, I would get the address of the property where he used to live, and text it to me and give it to us on the air so people can take a look at it. I don't know of anything exemplary of something like that other than Mount Zion Church on Jeff Davis. You got people hanging out, you got junkyards on one corner, you got the drug houses on another corner, and then they played the mind game and went up there and showed you East Jeff Davis, which was the YMCA at Perry Street. That's not West Jeff Davis. West Jeff Davis up around Oak Street and come back down the road to Park Avenue. You see, it's nothing. You take a ride up there, you like to go check things out. Check it out for yourself. Don't take my word for it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And anything that's exemplary of somebody of his magnitude, then you give me a call back or call me out on that. I'll take the hits for it as 50-50.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well, I'll do that. It is 8:19 in the morning. Good morning. Who's this? Morning.
I didn't call what the brother said right there. You know, Jeff Davis, part of it started at Court Street and go back. So they not talking about going from Court Street back to Hill Street, right? Or they talking about start at Oak Street and go down to Hill, or they talking about doing the whole Jeff Davis from Court Street in the front of Lovely School, the whole street.
Well, I don't know exactly where it starts and ends. I was just wondering how we can't get a street name after MLK. I just.
A lot of the people in prison, a lot of their mothers, but y'all don't talk to them. People don't come to the meet. They will tell you that their children have mental problems, white and black. They talk about, I talked to a white lady out of Abbeville the other night, 80 years old. And she said her son is in the county jail. He's 60 years old, but she said he still her boy, her son. He have a mental problem. That guy that was beaten up in there, he have a mental problem. So most of these women, white and black, their sons have a mental problem. That's what they tell me. And I don't doubt them. They ought to know it. They're children. And you may be fortunate, and others listen out there have kids that don't have a mental problem. None of them have a mental problem. So, hey, what do we do? And he was saying about the board. What did Boldian tell you? Is I'm pronouncing his name correct? Boldian?
Bollinger. Mm-hmm. He said make a difference. I got 71 pages of board members. Oh, they right. They don't listen. You call them, and they don't want to come on air. I mean, I guess not. Yeah. Well, no, you don't. No, and yeah. Mm. You know, for people to now they certainly affect our lives, and they gonna move from downtown where people just come down and pay the water and with no human being, Harley, they're down there. Nobody told us. Right, it did. Now, here's what I don't know. I don't know if people on the water board get paid. I think they actually make a little money. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, man. All right. Appreciate it. Got to take a break. We'll be back. I noticed on this board thing too. A lot of people are on multiple boards. Um, Multiple boards. And again, I didn't want to be on a board just to have my name on a board. I just didn't want that. I thought it would make a difference. Looking at and a board I'd like to be on, that housing authority board. I'd like to be on that board because we need some changes around here. We need some changes. One more question before I go to my break here. What does anybody have a reasonable suggestion? I am tired of looking in the newspaper every day, seeing somebody shot, somebody killed, somebody. Does anybody have a reasonable suggestion of what we possibly could do to change the quality of life? Is it really about not having jobs and opportunities or things of that nature? I mean, is that what it's really all about? Because if that's what it's all about, it seems that we could do something about that. There are so many jobs right now that are available in Montgomery until I saw a company we give stimulus checks every 2 weeks, for coming to work, and I'm stimulated by that check too. Is there any reasonable suggestion of what we could do? Because I'm telling you, after a while, people are going to leave here, and I'm going to be one of them. And I don't want to leave here because I like Montgomery. But what can possibly be done? Um, it, it, do we really need more? Would more police, these good policemen, would more good policemen actually change things in the city of Montgomery? Okay. So we'll be right back right after this. What can we do? Or do we stick a fork in it and say, we're done? We'll be back.
Weather forecast on News Radio 1440.
This report is sponsored by SmartMouth, the only 24-hour mouthwash with twice daily use. If you talk to someone and they jump back because of your breath, you
rain with perhaps a light passing shower south of US 80. And then by the afternoon, it turned mainly sunny. Temperatures a bit warmer than where we were on Monday, not by much, upper 70s with that afternoon sunshine. Tonight, we're down into the upper 40s and low 50s, mainly clear. And for today on Wednesday, behind a morning cold front, temperatures only in the mid and upper 60s despite plenty of afternoon sunshine. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Minor accident, 85 northbound, just past Perry Hill Road. Not seeing any slowdown from that, but be advised it's there as well. And we've got debris on the Interstate 65 northbound, just past Cobb's Ford Road. Keep your eyes open in both of those areas. Chico's Auto Pros offers full tire and auto service at their Montgomery location on Atlanta Highway. Everything for your vehicle in one location. Chico's Auto Pros, 239-9510. Buckle up front and back. It's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch traffic, this is Major Delay.
For all your auto maintenance and repair needs, Chico's knows. Chico's Auto Pros now offers a full-service automotive center. Call Chico's today at 239-9510. Chico's knows.
Good morning, I'm Judd Davis. Here's what's happening on this Tuesday morning. The eyes of the nation are on Minneapolis as jury deliberations begin in the trial of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin, charged in the death of George Floyd. In the last 3 weeks, we heard from 45 witnesses. On Monday, more than 4 hours of closing arguments. Floyd's death sparked global protests calling for racial justice, and now the city's preparing for another round. Here's the latest COVID news this morning. Some people are delaying their shots after reports that at least 6 people developed rare blood clots after receiving the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Over 6 million J&J shots were given out. Now CDC advisors will meet on Friday to discuss their most recent findings. Here's the latest on gas prices. They are holding steady in the last few days. AAA reports the national price for regular unleaded is $2.87 a gallon. That's up a penny in the last week. The Alabama average is $2.63 a gallon, the same as last week, but down 5 cents compared to last month. That's your news on this Tuesday morning.
It's Ram Truck Month at Tennessee Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, and they have truckloads of savings for you. Drive a new Ram 1500 with 0% APR for 72 months and bonus cash. New Dodge Challenger comes with 0% APR for 72 months and bonus cash. Shop online. They're available via chat, text, and phone to help you. TennesseeAutomotive.com, where your safety and satisfaction are guaranteed. Free credit. Must finance your Chrysler Capital $13.88 for $1,000 finance. Dealer retains all factory incentives. See dealer for details.
If you are a sales professional looking for a new and exciting opportunity, listen up. Your next career in media sales is waiting for you. Cumulus Media has immediate openings in our sales department for experienced, hard-working account executives. You'll work closely with clients to meet their particular needs, from radio advertising to state-of-the-art digital campaigns. Sound like the perfect job for you? Call General Manager Don Polno today at 334-240-2257. Cumulus Media is an equal opportunity employer.
Melody, Tillery, 264-238.
Regular maintenance is key to having your heating and air conditioning system operate at peak efficiency. Tillery Heating and Air Conditioning has been providing service and maintenance for nearly 45 years. Call and join thousands of customers that rely on Tillery Season Guard maintenance program to keep their system operating at peak efficiency. And be sure to like us and share us on Facebook.
Melody, Tillery, 264-238.
I'm in license number 8477.
Oh, I'm Ben McNeil. That's Food Fuel City. And we're celebrating the beautiful weather of spring. Enjoy sunshine, warmer weather, and the satisfaction of an all-American snack. Get 2 packs of Golden Flake Tube Nuts for only 99 cents. And get an 8-ounce Coke in the vintage bottle for only 99 cents. Pour some peanuts in your Coke and celebrate the ultimate spring snack. United. Home of the 99-cent special. And quality, top-tier, dry-clean, Citgo gasoline.
They are the 2 sexiest fat men alive. Ready to fight. You can hear Rick and Bubba on News Radio 1440, beginning at 9 a.m. Depend on it.
Yeah, I was on the cemetery board, but they pretty much took the key. They pretty much took the keys from us and gave them to somebody else. And my good friend Donald Jenkins was the, I think the chairman of that board, and we started he started asking questions, and the next thing they kind of like say, well, we gonna handle this. I said, okay, that's the way it goes, I guess. That's the way it goes. I still can't figure that one out. I still haven't figured that board out yet. I still haven't figured why that got in the position that it got in. I don't quite understand that one. But when you're private, people don't tell you that. They just treat you like like private. Good morning. Who's this? Okay. You get one call, Mr. Ed. One call. That's it. Anyway, here's a crazy story. A woman is facing charges after court records say she mailed drugs to an inmate inside the Autauga County Jail. Now, I don't know, and this is something that happened this month. Now, I don't know, what would cause somebody to do that? Okay. I mean, why would you do that? First of all, now you're using the mail, which is a federal offense. Okay. According to, court records, Lindsay Salas is charged with 2 counts of promoting prison contraband, second degree, and possession of a controlled substance. According to court records, Salas mailed an envelope in March containing, never heard of this before, sub something. I don't know. Never heard of this before. What the hell is that? Suboxone, SUBOXONE. I never heard of that. What the hell is that? That must be something new. I don't know. Never seen it. Suboxone. Whatever the hell that is. She found it because she mailed it to the Autauga County Jail and labeled it to be delivered to an inmate. An arrested Davis said that Tuesday, while the Autauga County Sheriff's Office, Salas was found with a substance believed to be methamphetamine. Salas was taken into custody and charged. She was placed under a $40,000 bond. I tell you, I never heard of that drug. They got some new drugs out now. I never heard of that drug. Sub something. I know what methamphetamine is, but I don't know. I never heard of this one. Let me see. Can anybody pronounce that? I don't know. See, they did that for a brother because they knew I could not pronounce that word. Oh, what's that? Where's that word at? Okay, it's called. Let me see. Okay, with a substance to be methamphetamine. What? SUBOXONE. Suboxone, I guess. Sounds like it'll get you getting high, whatever it is. I mean, it's I never heard of that. Anything that starts with sub on it, I'm gonna leave that alone. Okay. I mean, I never heard of that before. Good morning. Yes.
I think one of the things, you're not gonna be able to help everybody because some of them are too far gone. Is you got people with enough money that they could assist quite a few. We could do a two for trade. You got kids out there who they can cut grass, you can get them mowers, they can work on computers like you do, get them the information and get them the tools to repair, trade things. There are a number of things you can do, but they don't have anything to do with it. And they don't have the ability to get specialty guys out there. So if we're going to try to save it, which I don't think anybody's really interested in, is to give them something to work with. And another thing, most of them, if they had a job, they don't have a license, you can't get to work, don't have any, you can't have a license most of the time to apply for a straight job. And most of the time, it's just a minor penalty. You write a ticket for spitting on the ground. Most of the ticket is the youth code. And once it gets to court, you got a court cost, you can't pay that. You got a hell of a fine, you can't pay that because you don't have a job. So the number of things that are keeping them, and a lot of our guys are really working hard and doing a great job. But a lot of the young kids, particular ones that, and this pandemic is going to make it worse because you got a lot of kids that are not going to make it back to school, not going to have the trade, not going to have the tools to work with. So if we could, some type of program that would enhance their, their ability to at least do something. They could work around, they work on cars, but they don't have any tools to work with. And the only person I know that may have helped us would have been probably out at home because he's gone now, and he even went to as far as trying to help the kids for prom dresses didn't have any, but he did certain programs. So his opposition out there as well. But I think the thing about these kids, they're not going to be saved unless we do something to help them.
But and I didn't get all that help when I was coming up. I mean, why do you need help? Okay.
The drugs weren't accessible, or the amount of the drugs weren't accessible. We didn't get a traffic ticket for walking down the street yesterday. So things have changed. Now you guys like you and me, we worked hard. I grew up in the country. I paid cash to get my tuition to get back to pay. Back in those days, high school you had to pay like a couple of dollars to get.
Yeah, where I'm from, we had to pay fees, school fees too.
Yeah, we did too growing up, but we didn't I paid cotton to get that little tuition to start school back in those days. So, but you don't have that opportunity. There's no cotton fields around here. And I say cotton, but we're not really talking about cotton, but it's not things kids can do to get what they need. So unless we step in and do something, it's going to just continue to get worse. Because I don't care what they did or didn't do. If you don't have anything to work with, then you're going to have the same problem. And it's going to continue to be that same problem. So at some point, we got to start saying, hey, they're bad, and try to help who can. We can get 50% of 6% of it.
Mm. All right. All right. Yeah.
Going to happen.
All right. Hey, appreciate it. Got the agenda for tonight's city council meeting. If anybody interested in that, getting that. Let me see now. Blah, 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 blah. Old business is going to be resolution revoking the business license of Mildred Shuford and Ron Stokes, DBA American Pallet on Furnace Street. Review of a nuisance at 532 Deerfield Drive, Conchetta M. Madison. That's old business. New business. An ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Montgomery, Chapter 14, by adding regulation of unattended donations collection boxes in the City of Montgomery. By Councilor Mitchell. I don't know what that's all about, but we'll see later on. An ordinance consenting to disposal of certain real property located at 608 North Court Street by the Waterworks and Sanitary Sewer Board, EJI. Resolution supporting adoption of an administrative plan for a 30% minimum goal for disadvantaged minority and women-owned businesses, enterprise participation in City of Montgomery government construction and professional services contract. I'll come back to that. Resolution expressing support for renaming Jeff Davis Avenue to Attorney Fred D. Gray Avenue. Resolution designating the voting places for District 1 special election. Resolution approving issuance of business license to Yamarcus Manuel DBA as the U Bar and Grill at Eastern Boulevard. I know there was up to City Council a few weeks ago. Application for a retail and beer license and wine off premise only by Dollar General Corporation. Why does Dollar General need to sell alcohol anyway? I don't know. We don't have enough place to sell alcohol. Anyway, application for a lounge retail liquor class 1 license by VIP Hookah Lounge, doing business as VIP Hookah Lounge on Madison Avenue. Really? That's up there by me someplace? Application for a liquor license. We do give a lot of liquor licenses for DBA Decade Cigars and Social on Eastdale Circle, space F6. Resolution appointing Davita Hines to the Montgomery Clean City Commission by Councilor Mitchell, replacing Larry Peterson, talking about boards. Resolution appointing Allison Prilliman to the Industrial Development Board by Councilor Jen Wright, replacing Steve Kermish, talking about boards again. The appeal of a proposed demolition by Gabriel L. Cottrell on East Park Avenue, represented by attorney Royce Gray Wadsworth. Resolution designating nuisance abatement agents. Okay. And here are the following structures that have been deemed unsafe: 3837 Hayneville Road, 1823 Plum Street, 2401 Poplar Street, 3319 Willow Lane, 2719 Thrasher Street, 3035 Wellena, and 111 East Park Avenue, and 208, okay, Broadway Street. So if those houses belong to y'all, if those things belong to y'all, y'all need to get over there right quick and stand in front of them so they don't tear your house down. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, so let me take a break, and we'll be back to that. So it's going to be a short meeting tonight, it looks like. So you can probably watch them on TV. The old business, revoking, review, the hookah bar thing, not the hookah bar. What's the name of that bar? The U bar, me bar. Well, whatever it is. They were down a couple weeks ago, and there was some talk about that place, and but it's a legal business, and they just got to maintain some control of it, because to make people close their business that's like getting the death penalty. You put all your money in your business and all that stuff, but y'all certainly need to keep track of things going. Now, here's one right here that we can talk about this if you want to. Resolution supporting adoption of an administrative plan for a 30% minimum goal for disadvantaged minority and women-owned business enterprises. Participation in the City of Montgomery government construction. Now, I'm for this. Okay, I'm for this. Okay, I really am. No, I don't like quotas, but I will say one thing. The only way some of these businesses have ever gotten where they are economically is they've got their contact within the city, and these big government contracts come up, and a lot of these people get them. I'm not mad at them, but why not allow smaller businesses that to try to get some of that business also, as long as they can do the job. That's where I am. Do the job. Okay, do the job. I don't know why we got to specify women. I mean, come on. Let's just say minority businesses. Is a woman ain't a minority. I mean, a woman. She's like 50% of the population, right? So why is she a minority? I don't think she's a minority. Okay, I don't think so. But then again, I'll leave that alone, because there'll be some women out there that think I'm dogging it. I'm not. I'm just saying, is a woman a minority? I don't know. What makes a woman a minority? Unless it's a minority woman. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Anyway, let's go back. I know some of my conservative friends just slapped the radio. What the hell you mean quota? Well, listen. No. Share the love, brother. Share the love. That's all I'm saying. Okay, we'll be back.
upper 70s with that afternoon sunshine. Tonight we're down into the upper 40s and
Hello.
clear. And for the day on Wednesday, behind a
Hello.
temperatures only in the mid and upper 60s, despite plenty of afternoon sunshine. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better.
That don't sound like a real phone.
News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Minor accident, 85 north.
I don't know. You just called me.
Not seeing any slowdown from that, but be advised it's there as well. And we've got debris on the Interstate 65 northbound just past Cobb's Ford Road. Keep your eyes open.
That's my son.
Chico's Auto Pros offers full tire and auto service at their Montgomery location on Atlanta
No.
Highway. Everything for your
You got
vehicle in one location.
Are you a bill collector?
Auto Pros, 239-9510. Buckle up, front and back. It's
Well, I'll have him call you.
This is major delay.
For all your collision repairs, Chico's Knows. Located on Atlanta Highway, just minutes from the Eastern Bypass. Call Chico's Auto Pros today at 239-9510. Chico's Knows.
Montgomery's most trusted shop for auto, paint, body, and mechanical repair. It's got to be McGriff. McGriff Auto Service also does oil changes and other routine maintenance, including warranty inspections, and are still offering pickup within a 10-mile radius on Bell Street in Montgomery. McGriff.
If you're worried about your hard-earned dollars becoming worthless or your 401k or IRA losing value, now is the time to move into gold. We own not gold or silver stocks. For real gold and silver, you can actually hold in your hands. How do you get real gold?
I agree with that.
By calling Oxford Gold today at 833-600 gold. The Oxford Gold Group will teach you everything you need to know about owning real gold and silver. It's a lot easier than you think. Call the Oxford Gold Group right now at 833-600-GOLD to get your free gold and silver investment guide. Put your savings and retirement accounts into something real, like gold and silver. Get your free Oxford Gold Group investment guide today and learn how easy it is to have real gold and silver delivered to your home, or how you can have real gold and silver in your retirement account. Don't sit back and watch your savings and retirement account suffer. Now is the time to make your money work as hard for you as you did for your money. So do this. Call the Oxford Gold Group right now, today, 833-600-GOLD. That's 833-600-GOLD. If you're worried about your hard-earned dollars becoming worthless or your 401k or IRA losing value, now is the time to move into gold. No, not gold or silver stocks. For real gold and silver, you can actually hold in your hands. How do you get real gold and silver? By calling Oxford Gold today at 833-600-GOLD. The Oxford Gold Group will teach you everything you need to know about owning real gold and silver. It's a lot easier than you think. Call the Oxford Gold Group right now at 833-600-GOLD to get your free gold and silver investment guide. Put your savings and retirement accounts into something real, like gold and silver. Get your free Oxford Gold Group investment guide today and learn how easy it is to have real gold and silver delivered to your home, or how you can have real gold and silver in your retirement account. Don't sit back and watch your savings and retirement account suffer. Now is the time to make your money work as hard for you as you did for your money. So do this. Call the Oxford Gold Group right now, today, 833-600-GOLD. That's 833-600-GOLD.
Hey everyone, let's all stop what we're doing and take a break. See, every moment can be kind of special. But they can be loud moments.
Oh, Lordy.
Working moments, it doesn't matter. Because every time dads like us do a moment like that to spend with our kids, well, it's pretty momentous. So let's take a moment to make it.
Let's take a moment to make a moment. Nothing wrong with that. Take a moment to make a moment. That's
We
good.
see miracles all the
That's a
time
good
at our
sign.
children's hospital. But miracles never come easy. That's why, as great as children's hospitals are, they need our support to keep miracles happening. Put your money where the miracles are. Support your Children's Miracle Network Hospital.
He is the voice of the conservative millennials.
The president is going to have to stand fast.
The Ben Shapiro Show.
They're not going to be willing to keep the government shut down.
Today at 3 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
Okay, then we are back. Let's go to the phone right quick. Somebody's waiting forever. Good morning. I hung up on the brother. Okay, then. All that waiting, then you hung up? Come on, man. Okay, here we're going to try this again. Good morning. Yes.
But is a minority. Oh, Kevin,
making money just like men do. A black woman gets two birds in one shot because she's black and she's African American. So people say, well, instead of getting a black male, we get the black female, and that way we get two for one. Now, white women have been discriminated against too in the area of business and being, disenfranchised.
But why not just look right? But why not just look at the business? I mean, female. I don't see what's. I mean, you're either black or you're white. I mean,
Okay, I'll tell you what, we're going to be committed to increasing the number of women in the company, and we're committed now to increasing the number of African Americans. That's why when I called your show a few weeks ago, I said, Kevin, I'm not going to talk about race because everybody knows House District 78 is 75% black, 22% white, and dispersed between other ethnicity groups. We don't even have to talk about that known fact. But if we leave race out of it, I think we can move, Montgomery forward, as a county, as a city, the whole county. But Kevin, let me just give you this one thought. When I was on the city council, I tried to get the city administrators, county administrators, to go in and rechange the application process for business. If you change the application process to denote the ethnicity group of that person, in that way, when you're getting ready to do large scale projects, you can say, tell you what we're going to do. For every project that we do, we're going to have 30% minority.
and I'm with that, but don't we want we certainly want the participants also to be qualified to do it, right? What if you can't find right qualified to do it? But I'm for the 30% minority participation, but I don't know if one of them's got to be a woman. What? Right, yeah, right, mm-hmm, right.
And Democrats. There are a lot of very smart but nominal women.
Right. But if they were in, I got you. But if they were in a male body and maintained the same intellectual and the same abilities, then what's the difference? If you was what? There, there are a lot of people who white that don't get loved by everybody. Yeah. Well, I agree. I think that there's right. I think there's nothing wrong with having a 30% requirement. I just think that's fair, considering that small businesses, whether they ran by men or ran by women, have a difficult time getting to the glass ceiling. I don't have a problem as long as they're qualified to do the work. I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. Appreciate it, my friend. But I don't have a problem with it. I just don't think. But what's sex got to do with it? You know, the same dollar that it takes me to start my business is the same dollar it takes a woman to start hers. The same expertise I need is the same expertise she needs. Okay. I mean, if you're in business and you sell hamburgers, does it really make a difference whether or not you're male or female cooking the burgers? Okay. I mean, really, doesn't make much difference. I don't know. We should go gender requirements more than so than minority requirements. Okay. If you're a black woman, black male, Chinese guy, whatever, minorities should get a break. Should get a cut of the pie. I agree with that. Only if they qualify though. Only if they're qualified, and I think they should get a piece of the pie. I think that's fair. What about you? What say you? Anyway, so I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that at all. Okay. Now, for a long time, I had a problem with it, but not anymore. I'm saying because I've seen too many things going on around here. Well, I gotta go now. That's it. That's what the music in the background means. Okay. Oh yeah. Well, let me go out to the yonder hills and here, there, and neither to change the world. See you tomorrow. The good Lord says the same.
On News Radio 1440.
Good morning, I'm Jen Davis. Here's what's happening on this Tuesday morning. The eyes of the nation are in Minneapolis as jury deliberations begin in the trial of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin, charged in the death of George Floyd. In the last 3 weeks, we heard from 45 witnesses. On Monday, more than 4 hours of closing arguments. Floyd's death sparked